I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Welcome everyone
I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it
to Shed Podcast. I am your host, Efren, and to my right is Jack. To the screen on your left is Tigo. Your top right is Z, and to the left is Keith and Zach. Welcome all. On tonight's episode, we're going to be going to a few topics here. One of them is going to be the Olympic basketball team. We're going to move on to then Bronson's contract. We're going to be talking about a bit of a summer league, and then time permitting, we'll be moving on to some other topics. First thing we're going to be doing is that probably in about a week, 10 days, 2 weeks, the Olympics are going to open up in Paris, France. And one of the things that people are actually talking about is the NBA roster over at part of the USA team. And quite frankly, I'm going to be real honest with you. What I'm actually proud of, if I may, for a moment, is that the men's basketball and women's basketball will be having on both sides the Puerto Rican team. That actually makes me extremely proud for the men's. It actually was 20 years ago the last time they were in the Olympics, the basketball team. I know that they're probably going to have a little bit of a difficult time. I get it. But the fact that they actually went through the trials, some tournaments in order for them to qualify, I just want to say congratulations to Puerto Rico and good luck in the Olympics. But as far as the United States, I mean, let's just
Really
not kid
cry
ourselves here.
because every time I do math homework, like I'm like, I want to cry. Like I really
Um,
like when I was
Obviously,
like,
we have
I can't even
a
do
bit
it.
of a background. If
I was like,
someone could just advise them, so that throws a little
no,
wrinkle
I just
there, but
no,
that's
no, I
okay
just
though.
that's one fact at you like that.
I'm just gonna point out that's
Like
your wife.
So, for those of you who are wondering, that was
Nick,
family members
Nikki, we're
background.
live and we can hear everything you guys are saying.
So thank you for that. In any event, the United States actually are going to be the favorite actually in the Olympics to win the basketball. I just don't see anybody who is actually going to beat them. As I'm looking, I know that they've had some exhibition games. They lost by 6 to Australia, and then so
I try that we can't hear you.
It's also static.
That's all you.
It's all you, bro.
yeah, that's all you on your end, buddy.
Mic and plug it back in.
So I'm gonna continue to move on. We're having some few technical difficulties on one end.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure the U.S. though beat Australia.
Yeah, they did.
yeah, but part of the concerns, which I don't really know why, to be honest with you, is the only one by 6. But what people need to realize, unlike about maybe 20, 30 years ago, the United States was actually destroying the entire world. Nowadays, we've got NBA players that are from other parts of the country. So when they represent their country, it's not going to be as easy as people think. I know that the United States are favorite. I don't know who's going to be a close second. Some people say Canada. Some people say Serbia with Jokic. Some people say Australia, and Australia should be actually be looked at considering the fact that they only lost by 6.
Serbia
But
just got beat too.
by by how much and by who?
Like 20 to the U.S. today.
But yeah,
So that alone just actually just kind of tells you that I think that they're just going to be walking through probably all the way maybe to the quarterfinals or semifinals as far as reaching the goal. But the United States is just going to have it so easy, in my opinion, winning the gold, unless there is an upset that I may not even think of. Uh, let's be honest. If anybody can actually think who has an actual realistic shot at upsetting the United States in the Olympics.
I mean,
In
Canada got a
reality,
team.
in reality, you would think that they would just walk through it just like the '92 team did, because this team is just as stacked as that, as that team is. for
That,
Wolves.
I think the thing now is that like there's so much like better talent like worldwide, um, you know, compared to years past. I think the main team is Australia just because this team like they consistently like play together. Like this team has been playing for years. Like they play in the FIBA, like they play like every, every year, every other year, like together. Whereas this US team, they kind of get, they only really play together now. They don't play it like last year, like the FIBA stuff. Um, and then obviously they only beat Australia by 6. I would still pick the US to be favorites. And the thing with Canada is they're definitely guard and like small forward like heavy, whereas they don't really have the size that because I watched their exhibition game. They had good guard play, but they just didn't have the bigs for like Anthony Davis and Bam. They just couldn't match up with them. Like they got out
who's
rebounded.
and which team is
I mean,
this?
that was
Canada.
against Canada.
Uh,
They couldn't handle the size of the U.S. They couldn't rebound. That was their main thing.
Plus, I think once the U.S. starts playing more together, they're going to start clicking. They're going to start,
Yeah.
knowing how each other plays, even though they kind of already know. But once you actually play with each other, eventually they're just going to start dominating. That's what I think.
I think the thing too is in the first couple exhibition games, they didn't really know how to like with the lineups and stuff.
Utilize.
They're kind of testing everything, and I think now after just this Serbia win, getting out to I know they got up to a decent lead with Australia. I think they're starting to now figure out what lineup they want to go with. But that's why I think Australia is really the main threat against them. But I would still pick the U.S.
Yeah, it's like even in the '92 Dream Team, certain players played with certain players. Like they always came in. Like for instance, when I think Barkley always played with like Bird. It's like they just mixed with certain individuals, and I think that's what the U.S. is doing now. They're trying to figure out that their niche as far as who plays better with who.
Yep. But at any given moment, though, any country, I mean, a really good country, like you said, like Canada, Australia comes in mind, because they've got not only have they played together for a long time, but you also have players on those teams that are in the NBA. Yeah, the '92 Dream Team. I mean, they were beyond stacked. I mean, it wasn't even. It was like it. 18-year-old high school senior playing CYO eighth grader. I mean that's what it was back in the '92 Dream Team. That's really to me the only difference. Do we still expect the United States to actually win gold? Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be as easy as some people may think. When I mean easy, I don't mean by possibly single digits. If so, maybe, but I'm thinking more like somewhere between the 10, 15 point margin. And that's close considering that in the past would be like a 30-point blowout. So
You guys want to hear something interesting that I know Dad and Jack, I know you guys know, and actually Zach too. Guess who is playing in this Olympics for Japan? Tomi Naga from Nebraska, the
stop.
Japanese Steph Curry. He is
Curry.
playing for Japan this year.
Stop.
I've been wanting to tell you guys, but I feel like I wanted to remember for the podcast to tell you that. But yeah.
Oh man, you want to talk about a fan
Tomi
favorite?
Naga.
Yo, he's
I know
dropping
who
40
he
in the
is.
first group
I
game.
know who he is.
Yeah,
He's
that's
dropping 40.
that's what they call the Japanese Steph Curry.
Yep, I know
Well,
who
they
he
kept
is.
they kept saying Serbia was going to be the toughest challenge, and
We just dominated them.
they just almost beat them by 30. So
30.
Yeah.
that's why I think they're getting their stride the more games that they play.
Yeah.
What
I
about
think-
France? What about France? France does not.
I think Wemby's playing for them too. I think they're
He
also
is. Wemby
They
is
got
playing for
they
them.
got
that's
Gobert and all
yeah.
of those.
They're
right?
another sleeper team. They're another sleeper team. They're kind of like Australia. I
But-
think. The
But
thing
Australia
is that
the question with Australia is their guard play.
Australia.
Yeah.
You mean
Compared to what
Patty Mills and Josh
Josh
Giddey?
Giddey.
Yeah.
I mean, they
compared to what the
play.
US got.
I'm just saying, Patty Mills, I think last Olympics averaged like 20 something. And then Josh Giddey, I watched that game against the US. I mean, he was kind of having his way doing what he wanted.
He was
Now,
partying.
it's not US like levels, but like, I mean, again, you never know, but they have better guard play than some of these other countries.
And give it up for Steph Curry for dropping 24 points, 6 for 9 for 3-point range against Serbia.
Yeah,
Would-
Serbia kind of reminds me of like Greece a lot. It's, mostly just going to be Giannis and,
Yep, yep.
and Jokic, and if you can stop them, I mean, you're mostly done.
Hey, is
And
Luca
the
playing
U.S.
the Olympics?
That's again, U.S. matches up really well with
Luka is
Bam
playing
and
in the
Anthony
Olympics.
Davis.
Where's he playing?
They
for?
Spain.
didn't qualify.
Spain.
They didn't qualify.
Oh,
Does he play for
Slovenia,
Spain?
They didn't qualify.
No, he doesn't.
Nah,
He
Oh,
doesn't.
he's Slovenian.
Slovenia. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think.
they didn't
I think
qualify.
Zach is right. I don't think that he qualified though. I
They
like
did.
how Anthony Edwards in an interview he says, "I'm the number one option."
Yeah.
I'm like, in reality though, any one of them can be a number one option.
Yeah.
Basically speaking. So I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. Jack, what do you think? Who do you think has a best shot of actually upsetting the United States, if anybody? If it happens, who would it be?
I honestly think either the Slovenia or Greece, to be honest, with Giannis, and then Slovenia. I think they have Bogdanovic.
That's Serbia.
Serbia.
Well, I think Slovenia with Luca. To be honest,
I don't think they
they're
qualify.
not.
They
They're
didn't-
not.
they
They
didn't-
didn't qualify.
It was between them and Greece won.
oh, then
Oh.
yeah, Greece. It'd be Greece. So yeah, I think Greece with Giannis and them. So
Well, I think Greece has a shot as long as Giannis' brother's not on the team. That's the
He
only
is on
Actually,
the team.
his younger brother,
Is on the team.
Kostas, not Thanasis. Kostas is on. I think Thanasis is hurt. I think that's why he's not on.
Didn't
Who's
I
hurt?
hear?
What'd he
Didn't
do?
I hear one of his brothers wanted to be traded?
Uh,
How many brothers does he have?
I don't.
yeah, they have
He
an
has
older
two.
one.
The
that
one
I
that's
think
the one that's
plays-
on Milwaukee. Didn't he want to get traded?
I don't know. I know
No.
he's hurt. I don't know.
Oh,
But
what is
the-
it?
Greece-
Giannis?
Greece, they have a player named Georgios Papagiannis.
Oh no.
Giannis. Oh, well, I mean,
Yeah, this brother's the one that was, I think, on that Lakers championship.
the
team.
Lakers. That's right, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he plays overseas now, but that's the one playing with him right now.
So I'm gonna my upset to the United States, or who I think could win it, is Canada.
That's what I think. If it's anybody that's gonna upset US, it would be Canada.
If Canada's guard play can make up for their lack of size.
And because we haven't mentioned it, I do think Germany also has a solid roster with the Wagner brothers, and then I think Schroeder is on that team as well. He played well in the FIBA. They actually upset the U.S. last
US.
year. Again, I don't think they'll actually win, but I wanted to throw them out there as the only.
They beat the
solid-
USB. They
solid
beat the
team.
USB team.
Well,
Yeah,
at least-
that was the last.
So
one.
all right. So let me ask this question: Which squad you think is the best one? The '92 Dream Team or this squad coming?
92.
I don't
92.
I'm going
If
with
this team wins the gold, I'm gonna say these guys because they're playing against tougher competition.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The competition is way different. And
I'll
talent,
give you
if we're
that.
speaking talent level, I do think today's NBA is better than the past.
Has everything two
That's
different
true.
eras, but
That's
you got a
true.
point.
I mean, I'll give you. I'll say that.
That's why you can't compare errors.
and that's why it's hard. But I will agree.
Well, that's why
You can compare players.
that's why it's
Compare
really hard to
players.
even compare
Like
players.
LeBron's better than MJ. Like, you know what I mean?
Stop
I feel
it.
like
Stop it.
I feel like I like that 2012 roster more. That
You mean
was-
MJ, who's never lost, never won nothing but a gold? Oh, you mean that guy? Yeah,
That guy?
Sorry, I need to call a plumber real quick that come freaking do my toilet real quick. So I was calling the other teams from 1999.
1999. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, won't probably last long. Maybe Bronny James can take it out for you. Anyway.
If I were to pick a team, I feel like I would like that to use the 2012 team. That was back when like
Prime
LeBron played
LeBron.
Wade, Kobe, Carmelo, Durant. Like
That was
that's
a
when
good
they were in
team.
their
That was a
prime.
good team.
Like, I like that Olympics team more, and that was the one I think Kobe was like. I don't even want to score. I actually want to because like now that he had the offensive like players around him, he was like, I just want to play defense. Like, and that's what he said he wanted to do. So
That was the
like
one where he
having a
completely
Kobe that
demolished Pau
just
Gasol.
That's the one where he ran through Pau
Oh, Pau
Gasol.
yeah
Gasol. Yeah.
he said I'm gonna set the tone and like
Mhm.
that
I'm gonna
roster
destroy
I like
Gasol.
more.
He said,
That's the U.S. team that I would if I were to compare to the Dream Team, it would be that one because it was like everyone just bought into what they wanted to do.
That dream team was
You know,
unbelievable, though. There
Well,
was
I mean all these U.S. teams. I mean they like for the most part we're like we're just gonna like
but could you imagine Bird, Jordan,
I
uh
gotta
I
Barkley.
can't
Barkley,
imagine. I watched it.
I mean I'm not saying
Peyton?
I watched it. Yeah.
that's why I'm
Man,
saying like prime Kobe, prime Melo, prime LeBron,
was-
Dwayne Wade, like they were in their prime playing
LeBron's
against
Patrick
still in his
Ewing.
prime.
Kevin Durant, like
Ooh,
you know,
oh my
LeBron's still in
God,
his prime.
it's the way he's playing.
Well, I
That's-
I
guess
want to
the
see. I want to see MJ do this at 39.
nah,
All
that's
right,
okay. That's
So is this
okay.
a good segment into the summer
He's-
league? Is that
He's
what
got
we're
an
doing
Air
here?
Jordan. He's got
I
an
mean
Air
we're just
Jordan.
we're talking about Jordan now. We're not
Yeah.
even talking about the Olympics at this point.
It's him.
I think someone's just trying to
We're
poke
talking-
the bear or something.
Yeah, we're talking to focus.
We weren't even planning on talking about Jordan. I'm just not trying to get into it.
I know.
I feel like the fans want to hear something about it.
He's
So I don't know.
instigating.
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
instigate. That's okay.
Nothing wrong with
Poking the
poking the
bear.
Bears.
That's all right.
Nothing wrong with poking the Bears.
But at the end of the day, I think it's a unanimous consensus that the United States are going to end up winning gold.
that is true.
All
If
right.
not silver.
Well,
So,
being in the USA, that's all we hope for.
exactly,
That's
exactly.
what we want.
But at the end of
With
the
Puerto
day,
Rico doing, good too for for my
I mean,
but
for my
again,
fam.
At least
But
get
you
out of
gotta
the group
beat
stage.
Serbia or the U.S. That's the thing.
as long as we
Anything
can
can
do
happen,
it,
like Kevin Garnett said.
you never know, man. You never know.
We did it.
They
So-
did though. I also want to tell you they beat that the U.S. or Puerto Rico to qualify. They beat I believe it was Lithuania with Sabonis. They beat that team to qualify. So it's possible they could beat Serbia. They beat that Sabonis and some other
It's-
player. A
All
couple
right,
players
so-
that have had
so-
NBA time.
So put it like this: we're breaking down the gold, silver, and bronze. Who's getting it?
Ooh.
I
Gold
think it's-
US.
I think I'd have to see the bracket like how that after the like
This is-
first round because like the top two in each group I think qualify. So I would
Yeah.
have to see who's on that opposite of the U.S. to be like, all right, well they're at least taking they're more likely to take silver. So
We'll
It
leave
really
the
depends
predictions
on who
at
plays who.
Right,
Yeah.
Who
exactly.
plays who.
Yeah.
But I
So,
think
But like
US
I
is
said-
going gold. And if I was the bank on
No,
Canada
but
not playing US
just
until
just
finals,
just
it'd be
going
Canada
off you
silver.
picking, just going off of you picking. You all right? We say Canada can beat, have a chance to win, right? We say Greece can have a chance to win.
so who's
France
on
could
number
have
two?
a chance to win. So there we can pick gold, silver, and bronze. Who we think is gonna be there.
I'll
All right, I go first. I'll
Yeah.
say like this: U.S. gold, Canada silver, and I'm gonna go France with getting the bronze.
Okay. I think
For
US
me-
gold, Canada silver, and I'll go with Germany getting bronze.
For
Okay.
me, seeing how Australia's played, I think I would have them second, and then I would go Canada third, and obviously U.S. first.
Well, Serbia second, and probably you said Australia. You said
I said Australia second, so if you want them
I'm gonna
there,
say third,
And or
Australia, and then
Canada.
USA.
I'm gonna go Puerto Rico with the gold.
That would be great. That would be great.
Jackson, how you been?
Probably gonna go.
Jack will stay in my will.
Puerto Rico for the silver.
I'm gonna go with the USA for bronze.
So Puerto Rico silver
Hey.
and gold.
Yeah,
That means
yeah,
Puerto Rico probably upsets U.S. early then.
yeah,
I
yeah,
know.
yeah. That's I'm putting that together.
They wouldn't
and then,
have they wouldn't have to upset US, they would have to upset Serbia.
And then for silver, I'm gonna go with France.
I'm gonna go US for gold. I'm gonna go with France with the silver, and I'm gonna go Puerto Rico with the bronze.
I mean, you got to.
You
I
have
mean,
to.
I gotta
you
do
have
it.
to.
Listen, I
Alright.
gotta do
It's
it,
not
or
You're not a
realistic,
real
but
one
you
though.
have
You're
to.
not a real one
It's
though.
not realistic, but you have to.
So so Tigo, you know what Jack just did? He just did
Yeah.
what we did when we said the Giants were winning first.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we aren't the only ones.
That's funny.
we all get the
But the Giants are gonna win first.
plus. All right, so
Eagles.
not that we all kind of have a consensus of who we think is gonna win the Olympics as far as the basketball. The next topic actually caught me off guard a little bit, to be honest with you.
Caught me off guard too.
It's rare. It's really rare for a player to actually, and nowadays with all these maximum contracts in the NBA, to see Jalen Brunson, instead of agreeing to like a 4-year 260, 270, I think something like that. Instead, he ends up signing for a 4-year 156.5 million contract. And actually, it kind of works to his advantage, even though he is helping the Knicks. But people don't realize that after his third year, I think second or third year, he would be eligible for a max contract about, I believe, potentially 5 years, 270, I think over 300 million potentially.
He's smart.
So-
He's
So the cap will be going up. Doesn't matter.
The cap is going up. Yes, that's why. But what I like about what Jalen Brunson did was, I'm gonna tell you right now, being from the city, they love this man right now. Okay, right now the city is loving this man because what they did is it opened up an extra $113 million over the course of 4 years. So if you do the math,
They go after another person.
that's almost
Yeah, I mean,
a little over 25, 27 million a year. So
you can sign.
really-
You can sign a
No,
big
yeah.
time player with that.
You can literally go off. And you can
it's
go
definitely.
after
I
a
think
center.
it's for me. It sounds like a player who wants to win,
Yes.
and it sounds and it's also smart too because it also says here in 2028 Brunson will be eligible for 5-year 417 million.
Make that. Never mind. I take that back.
So that's a player who wants to win and a smart player. He needs to stay healthy though, because if he's not healthy, then I don't think he's gonna get that 417.
Yeah.
But he's taking lesser money for so they can.
He's
get
betting
more.
on. Basically, he's betting on himself.
But
To
My,
say-
my question is, because he signed it a year early, was this technically the most he could sign for, or did he still just take less than what he could?
No, he
He
chose.
took-
No,
He
you could have
took less.
signed for 2 and
He
change.
could have signed Max.
Yeah.
Like a year early, he could have still signed up. Okay.
Yeah, right
that was
now.
my
It
only
wouldn't. It
question.
wouldn't go into
Yeah.
effect until after this year.
Right.
I'm just seeing because like I know his max. I'm saying like could he have signed for more a year earlier like he did? That was like my only. I didn't.
No.
look into
It's
it,
just
that was
I think with a year left in the contract, all it is I believe the player becomes eligible a year
To
earlier
talk.
for
For
to
extension,
secure a
yeah.
max. You can wait till next year, but I think
Yeah.
you have a year left in your contract. It's like the NFL. When they do the 4-year rookie contract, it's their contract year. Well, they can get an extension with a 1 year left. But I'm going to tell you who actually has the most. Who's on the hot seat right now after Jalen Brunson signed that discount contract? You know who has that? Who's on the hot seat right now? The Knicks general manager. Okay.
Nope.
No, actually, I still think it's the Knicks general manager, and here's why: because Jalen Brunson just saved you somewhere between $25-27 million for the next 4 years. The question is, how are you planning on using that money? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? So that's the next step and the next question to me.
Well, I can kind of excuse me. I could kind of think, but he's doing a good job so far. So I can't say he's not on top of his game. So we just got to see how the team work out this year of what he put together. Of who.
It's
What
not
you saying,
so,
Nacho?
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
I was gonna say I think he's waiting. They're gonna go after a center. That's what I think they're gonna do.
That's what I'm saying. I think like
So what
But you
about
gotta
Mitchell
wait.
Robinson?
He's never on the court, so he's non-existent.
What do you
Okay,
think they're
Tom.
going to go after? if they were.
That's
to.
what I. That's what I was
I
saying
think
about
they would use
Randall.
that money to go after a center. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying
that's what
with
I think they
Randall
would.
because if he comes out and he plays well,
They
I
have to pay him.
do you want to pay him because like, or do you want to go after somebody else? Because like, if he just has a great year and he's like an all-star again,
I mean, he's been
like
having great years, but he can't. He hasn't been making the playoffs.
He can't stay
no,
healthy, and he
he
can't shoot
hasn't
in the
actually
playoffs.
played well. He didn't play in the playoffs this past year, and then the year before that he was awful in the playoffs.
And the
So
year
it's
Right.
before
like
that,
if
he
he
was.
goes crazy and it's like, oh well, let's just sign him, and then that don't work out. That's where I could see that. Okay, it's that general manager could be on the hot seat. Like if Randall starts
Right.
playing
Right. Yeah.
extremely hot, but
Right.
and then it's like, well, let's just sign him. So it's like, but if he plays bad this year, then it's like, all right, that's easy to get rid of him. Like, so I think
I'm
like Randall will be pretty telling of how this Knicks team could go. Then the
I'm gonna
following
tell
year.
you. Remember, I'm not a fan of Randall. Let me rephrase that. I'm not not
Listen.
that
Me
I'm
neither.
a fan of Randall.
Me
I
neither.
don't trust Randall. So I'm gonna
Me
tell you.
neither. Me
Not a
neither.
fan of a lot of people that.
From he denied me
Said-
that autograph. Yep, I'm not a fan of his.
I said you're not a fan of a lot of people that.
Yes.
Well,
But
that's why I tell
but
everybody.
him coming out of college.
See, from
Yes,
Tigo, I can understand because that was a crazy story. I mean,
yeah, right. Not a
But-
fan.
But here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you who I think would be a good fit for the Knicks. Okay, the Utah center, Laurie Markkanen. I hope I pronounced his last name.
Markkinen.
Thank you, Markkanen.
Markin.
He averaged 23
Oh, yeah.
points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, shot 48% from the field, and shot 40% from 3. And it's a 90% free throw shooter. He's only 27 years old. Okay, 7-footer.
Is he free agent?
To me, he would be a better fit than Randall. If there's a way that they can do a sign and trade or whatever they can do, or maybe free agency, I think that's the player the Knicks should get in. That will lock up because you have to remember, the Knicks got to face Giannis. They got to face Porzingis. Okay, they got to set
We gotta face Embiid. We gotta face a lot of big.
So you need a big man that not only can play defense, can score, but can shoot the 3 to take that big
Right,
man.
just pull them out. Yep,
Bring them out.
to the.
To me, that's the player the Knicks need because that would be a perfect fit. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not trusting Julius Randle. You can get rid of him right now.
I said the same thing. I'm with you on that.
What was that, Zach?
Would you play Markkinen at the 5? Because I know for the Jazz, I don't even think he's playing the 5 for them. So would you sign him with the intent of playing him as the 5 when that's not?
And
really
take out
what
Mitchell
he's been
Robinson and put
doing?
I would like to use him. I mean, obviously on defense, he's going to be in the middle at some point throughout the defensive scheme. I would want to use him like the Celtics use Porzingis. That's the way I would like to use it because he is going to be playing. I don't think he's going to play 5 permanently. 5,
5.
but
that's what Porzingis is.
Yeah,
For us.
I would have to put him at 5. I would put him at 5. Yes.
See, I think Markkinen's gonna end up going to the Atlanta Hawks. Personally,
Who is?
I think Markkinen's gonna go to the Atlanta Hawks eventually. That's what I think's gonna win the sweepstakes for him.
They should because the number 1 draft pick is not doing a damn thing right now. I'll tell you that after yesterday's game. So as far as but as far as Brunson goes though, it's the best thing that they can actually have done. It's actually they need to get him help. They're there. They got Bridges, but I think they're still one more player away.
I see a lot of people trolling him for losing out that money too, like Paul Pierce. I hear Paul Pierce trolling him.
He makes it up in endorsements in New York City. Paul Pierce wouldn't know anything about that.
I got a question.
You're right, but he does have a ring, so he has to wear his sunglasses.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. He only got it because of Kevin Garnett.
What was that, Keith?
I got a question about these contracts. It's directed towards you, Efren, because I think you probably will know about it, but everybody else might know. Do you know anything about this tax that they put on visiting players?
Yes, I read that. And it was Michael Jordan that started with Michael Jordan.
It started with the Los Angeles Lakers taxing Michael Jordan's salary for him playing in LA.
Yep.
What?
And then the
Yep.
Bulls, and then the Bulls in return
Yep.
started doing the same thing. So now all these players get this huge tax. I
For
think
for
they
the
broke
two
they broke
games. Yep. Yep.
they broke down Tatum's
I
annual
saw that.
salary from like
Mhm.
60, what is it, 63 million, and
Yep.
he winds up getting
Like
23
20.
after it's all
Yep.
said and done.
Yep. Yep.
You know
I
what?
And like
seen that.
20,
I read
23
that.
of it goes 23 of it goes to that
Goes to the
tax
teams?
it goes to like that visiting team tax or whatever it is.
Yep.
I've never heard of
Never
that.
heard of
That's why I was
that.
just
I
wondering
never
if
heard of
anybody else
you
has
know
heard of
why,
that.
Keith? You know why, Keith? You gotta look at it this way. When a player come into town, you're making money that night because you're getting paid that night you're playing, right? So you're getting paid in a different town that you don't live in. You're getting so you gotta
all just
pay
about
that
money.
taxes.
It's all
Right.
just about money at the end
It's
of the
always
day.
Oh,
about
all right. Because they're
Oh,
getting
let's get
paid
more
for
money
that
That's
from the
game.
great.
players.
So when people play the Miami Heat, then Miami doesn't get anything because there's no state tax in Miami.
Oh, they
That's
100%
Well,
still get
that's probably
is it the state or is it the team though? Because you said the Lakers
no,
tax
it's
Jordan.
no,
So
it's the team. It end up being the state taxing the players then.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's
I don't
it's
know
like
how it
it's
works
like
out.
So then
How,
that
it's
so
like
then
you
that
coming
means
into
the
town and
Magic
making
also
money.
then don't take
right,
this.
right.
No, I
Because there's
didn't.
no
I
state
didn't know
tax
any of that. To be honest with you, I didn't even know
Oh.
that. I didn't.
Yeah, because I was just looking at the breakdown of Tatum's contract, and I was
Yes,
like,
I read
wow,
that
he
same
only
thing.
gets 23 million of that 60
Yeah.
plus.
I still want that problem.
Yeah, right. I was just curious if anybody knew about that.
I read about that too, Keith. I was like, yo, that's crazy, man. Like, wow. So every time you
Nuts.
go into a city, you gotta pay the tax for that night you playing.
One night.
One night.
Well,
Wow.
hopefully you win the game. If not, then not only are they taking your money, but then you just lost the game.
Every
So,
player has to do that.
Every player.
Every player.
so you
And
really-
Michael Jordan started that.
that's what happens, man. You know. But
Well,
as far
the Lakers started it, and then
Right,
the
right.
Bulls, then the Bulls did it in return as well. So
so with that being said, congratulations to the Knicks. Congratulations to the Knicks and that discounted contract. Hopefully, the general manager will make
Still
some
gonna come
wise
behind
decisions. You know, even though it's really not going to do anything when it comes against the Celtics, though.
Watch and see. Watch and see.
Exactly. So moving along to the summer league, as far as the segue now, this summer league has been it's been kind of interesting. They've been talking more about players that haven't been doing really well versus players that are actually doing well. And yesterday I saw a stat by Alexander Czar, the second pick overall of the Washington Wizards. The man went 0 for 15 overall, 0 for 7 from 3, and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. This is a 7'1" player, a 7-footer. And I'm saying
Ben
to myself,
Simmons?
Second overall.
second overall out of France.
So I just want to say something. Can you
Yeah.
take all the things that you said from Brownie back?
Oh my gosh, no. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
I mean, he's playing better
Listen,
than the
remind me-
second overall pick
Pat,
right now.
Pat,
So.
remind me to take you to the doctor to get you some medication.
Now, how come you didn't want to start off by yelling at Alex Clark for not making a shot, but you yelling
Right.
at Brian for not making it?
No. It's a fair question. You asked me. You may not like my answer, but you're gonna get my answer. Okay.
I'm just
And here's my
answering.
answer.
Yeah.
Because an ignorant individual did not set that kid up by saying he's better than a lot of
So
NBA
why are you yelling
players.
at Brownie? Yell
But
at
what
LeBron.
does that have to do with Bronny himself?
You
That's
are in
Bronny.
the
That's
vicinity of
Bron.
my target. You're in the way. Sorry, he's
No,
part of
that
But that's
doesn't
LeBron
answer it.
James.
What does that have to do with Bronny? When he's come out and said, "I just want to play in the NBA," he's
Right.
flat out said that. That's the only thing on his mind. That's the only thing he's ever said. Why are you coming at a 55 overall pick when I can
Right.
go through the last 20 55 overall picks
Right.
and guess what? They ain't done
Mhm.
nothing. So why is it now
Right.
that all of a sudden, because of your hatred for LeBron James,
It's not
now that
hatred.
you want
But
to take?
It's
Yeah,
not
it is.
hatred.
No, we're gonna call it
You
straight
say,
how it
hold
is.
on,
Because
you
of your hatred for LeBron James, you want
you
to take it
say,
out on his son on things that he said for Bronny when Bronny
There we
himself
go.
hasn't said
you
anything.
say, you say something in the public eye. Listen, you say something in the public eye, it backfires you.
What Bronny say? No.
Yes,
What Bronny say?
You're
No,
gonna
What
hear
Bronny
it.
say?
You don't
You-
like
What
it.
Bronny say?
You might be right. You
I
might be.
know I'm right.
You might
I
be.
know I'm right.
No.
Okay, you
What
might be
has Bronny said? What has
You might
Bronny
be-
said?
You might be 100%
That we-
right. But what does this have to do with Ronnie?
Yes. What has he said?
He's the one on the court. I don't care what he said or he didn't say.
It is about what he said. Because you're saying, oh, it's about the things that have been said.
I'm
What has
talking
he
about his
said?
play. I'm talking about his play. I'm talking about his play. I never said anything about what he said or didn't say. I'm talking about his
Okay.
play.
If you're talking about his play and you're yelling at him and you're bashing him, do the same to every other player who scores 2 points in a game. It's
Oh,
only
so-
fair. It's only
No, no,
fair.
and
This
I
is
got a
what's
question.
that.
I got
This
a
is what's
question here.
expected of a 55
Wait,
overall pick. Somebody drafted in the second round.
By the way, and it's
Paul,
also
let me ask
and
you a
it's-
question. Let me ask you a question real
Go
quick.
ahead,
Hold
because
up.
I got a real good
So-
one right here.
Instead of wasting our time on scrubs in the NBA draft, can we talk about Reed Shepard actually blowing up the summer league?
Yes.
The third overall pick for the
and
Atlanta
can
Hawks.
we also talk about that kid AJ
I mean,
Johnson?
the Houston Rockets. Sorry,
Listen,
Houston
but can we
Rockets.
also talk about AJ Johnson, this kid that supposedly by the Milwaukee Bucks averaged less than 2 points, and everybody's saying I didn't say anything? Let's see what this young man is doing. 14 points, 3 assists, three rebounds per game, 42% from the field goal, 41% from three, 75% from free throw. His name is not. I know y'all gonna hate it. Bronny James. This is a young man.
Well, he's also not the first.
And he's
overall
from
pick or the
Australia.
second
He's from
overall pick.
Australia. Again, because somebody said, how come I'm not coming
He's
after
not.
those-
He's not from Australia.
Well, that's what,
He's not
again,
from
that's what his
Australia.
portfolio said. You Australia/USA.
That's where
what-
he played for a year. He's from the U.S.
Okay, but he still went to go play with professionals.
And he's not from
Okay.
there though.
But then he came back and he's basically saying
Came
that
way
so
back.
far I'm worth the draft pick, whereas the other one is not. So I'm going to give him kudos so far for
You're talking about
being drafted. I'm not for being drafted. Be kudos and actually so far doing his part and letting everybody know that I do believe belong in a team. I don't need my father to get me into a team. I don't need to pretend that I deserve to be drafted. I don't need to actually pretend or have backup people. Skip
What-
Bayless stepson.
What have
AJ
the other
Redick,
second
hey,
rounders
he's
done this
earned
year?
it. He said he's earned to be in the NBA. No, you haven't earned.
No one said he's earned to be in the NBA. Nobody said that.
JJ did.
JJ
He
Redick did.
Yeah. JJ Redick.
Redick did.
Hey, you can talk about JJ. I'm talking about right here. Nobody's
He
said
doesn't
that,
deserve to be
that
in
he's
the
earned it.
But to Ayachetta's credit, let's talk about actual NBA players that are earning their keep and doesn't need to call daddy. So you were saying Ayachetta.
Yeah.
So
What'd
I'm
you say,
saying-
Cheddar?
the third overall pick, Reed Shepard for the Houston Rockets has been tearing it up lately in the summer league. I think he went for 30 something points 2 summer league games ago, and he just dropped 15 points against the Clippers. I believe it's against the Clippers.
Well, right
It's
now
hard to look at the stats here.
No, I agree with you.
Okay,
actually.
when do you get drafted? What pick?
Number 3 overall.
I think he was the
Yeah,
third
you know
overall
what you're
pick. Yeah.
supposed to be doing.
And
I mean,
right
that's-
now, and right
if
now,
you're
That's
getting
what a
third
third
overall,
overall
that's what you
pick is
should-
supposed to do.
That's what you should be doing.
and
Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
But I'm just saying
Hey.
he's actually showing his worth as a pick.
Okay.
That's what
Right.
I'm saying.
And he's
Yeah,
actually-
Yeah.
and
that's
he's
what we're
actually-
talking about.
and his
Yeah.
numbers. So if just the Vegas numbers. I don't know. I haven't been able to find the other ones, but I could. But just the Vegas numbers alone, right now he's averaging 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's actually shooting 49% from the field. He's actually shooting 39% from 3, and is shooting 78% from the free throw line. Houston Rockets right now has made a good choice right now for shooting guard. I think he plays point guard too, but I think he can play either or if you ask me. But I think he's probably going to be point guard. But right now,
You know-
he's actually doing it in the summer league right now.
I have something to add, but it doesn't really involve the draft. It's just something to toss in real quick. How about Cayenne Anthony? Have you seen what Cayenne Anthony's been doing, Zach?
Didn't he drop 40?
He's talking about
Carmelo
Carmelo's
Anthony's
son.
kid.
Carmelo's son.
Yeah.
What he's
I
been
don't-
do- Dude, he dropped 40 and he just dropped 36 today.
Jeez. Well, he'll
So
be actually.
we do have a comment on our Facebook Live that agrees with Ayacheta. It's from Jason Tackett. Reed Shepard smoked all rookies in the summer league by miles. Yeah, I'm a
Hey.
fan.
Hey,
There you go.
He's actually doing what he's supposed to do. He's actually killing. Same thing with Dalton Connect for the Lakers, who got drafted 17 overall. He's actually killing it too with 22, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, shooting 41% from both sides, field goal overall and 3 points, and shooting 71%. So he's actually doing, and he's worth that 17. He's a steal. The Lakers actually
He must have turned that around because his first 2 games weren't that great.
Oh no, he did. He actually did turn it around. He actually is making buckets instead of actually shooting and feeling the breeze because he can't hit the rim. I don't know what that is, but you can
Are we
actually
talking about Bronny again?
Huh?
Well, sir, Bronny plays tonight versus Atlanta. So
Is that what you call it?
Reed.
Is that what you call it?
Do you have Shireman's
Is
numbers?
that what you call it? Right?
His number.
It's just
Efren, do you have Shireman's numbers?
Who's?
Shireman.
Oh, the 30th,
The first
30th,
the 30th. Oh,
the 30th overall. Yes, right now, in about 18 minutes a game, he's actually averaging 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game. He's not really, and this is just the Vegas, by the way. I'm saying Vegas numbers right now.
They've only played in Vegas.
Yeah, it's a couple of games. Yeah, so and he's shooting both from the from 3-pointer, also in the field goal overall. That's not the way where he's supposed to be, but he's shooting at a 31% clip. And he's shooting. He hasn't missed a free throw yet, but he's only taken 1 attempt. So, but other than
I watched 2 of their games, and he looks, like all around as an all around player. I mean, he finds open men. I like that pick.
Listen, the pick that Miami is actually going to enjoy. I'm going to tell you right now, is Khalil Ware from Indiana, and right now he's actually doing pretty well in the summer league at Vegas. He's doing actually 14 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 57% from 3, 50% overall, and the only thing is 40% from the free throw line. That's his Achilles heel. But other than that, he's actually doing well overall with the 15th pick overall in the first round. So right now, again, I'm gonna go back.
what about the next player? What about the next draft? How is he doing?
Well, as far
both of the draft picks, they're all right.
as for the Knicks themselves, you mean? Let's see. Right now, Keyshawn George, he's averaging 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. And again, this is just Vegas numbers. He's actually shooting 46% from 3, 56%
bad.
field. His Achilles heel again, probably because he hasn't had too many attempts. 33% from the free throw line. But other than that, as far as the project, the following pick, the 25th overall, I hope I pronounce his last name correctly, Pacome Dadiat. I hope
Daddier. I think it's Daddier.
Daddier. That
He's
too.
French.
So it's actually 8 points, 7 rebounds. Not good. 29% from 29% overall, 20% from, but he is shooting, and he's only shooting 50%. But again, those are just the 2 games, I believe, in Vegas. I don't know about the first 2. This is just Vegas numbers right now. But right now, as far as Keyshawn Johnson, he's looking pretty good right now, possibly making the team. Especially with the numbers that he's having right now. But the one guy that I actually noticed now, the kid from USC, Isaiah Collier, got drafted from Utah, 29th overall. He's not having shooting, not bad. It's not that great, but he's actually averaging 11 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. The percentages are in the 20s. So he hasn't really gotten his rhythm yet as far as shooting consistently. But as far as overall play, 11, 5, and 4, That's not too bad considering, first round pick at the bottom of the draft, playing minutes, he's going to actually be able to be making the team. So I personally am enjoying watching the summer league right now because I'm kind of anticipating that there's actually a lot of guys that really suck. They're not that good. I don't even know their names, man. Seriously. I mean, I just really want to just talk about the good players. And I think we should start doing that right now because to be honest with you, this draft alone is really, it's not even so much who's good. It's really more about, man, how much garbage there is in the draft. Seriously.
I mean,
I think I need to go to the grocery to the nearby franchise grocery store supermarket, go to aisle 5 because I think I ran out of garbage bags. Seriously.
I don't think you realize like how many players that get drafted actually like don't play. Like, and if you actually look in past years, like majority of these players don't even play in the league. Like, I think it's just being talked about so much about like this bad play this year is getting talked about so much more. But if you actually look at all these past players, like most of them don't even touch the NBA court.
I mean, the one thing that I will give for a lot of these players, especially international players, because I don't know them as well as we probably do some compared to American players, is that the international players, when they get drafted, and they get drafted when they're probably, some of them get drafted when they're 17, 18, 19, and that's because they play professionally.
You have to be 19 to enter.
No. I mean 19 enter, but I mean international.
Playing? Yeah,
internationally, yes, professionally.
Yeah.
They get to play, I don't know if the earliest is 16, but 15, 16, 17. So by the time they get drafted at 19, potentially, so a lot of these players internationally are going to have 3 to 4 years under their belt playing with professional players, because those professional players, and some of them like Jokic and Giannis, are in the NBA because they themselves were playing professionally for several years. Whereas you got these kids in college where when they come out, they probably weigh, a lot of them, 125 pounds wet.
No.
They I'm exaggerating, but I'm making a point.
Yeah, it's not even the point.
Right. But what I'm saying is that they're not. So maybe with some players, you're going to wait a few years. Some players, they're going to be it. And some players, the likelihood is, they're not going to do anything. So at the end of the day, just looking at this, though, I mean, it's just a lot of trash I got to put at the bottom of my driveway. That's all I can tell you.
This is every year though. It's just never been talked about so much.
I agree.
All right, how many players from last year's draft can you tell me right now that are doing good this season?
How many players
from last season?
Actually think about decent players from last year's draft.
Think of players from last year's draft, right?
Pull it up.
No, you do it. No. Like off the top of your head, actually think about past drafts, and there's only a handful of good players
from last year's draft.
Right.
From last year's draft.
Yes. There's going to be a handful.
Hold on. From last year's draft, think of as many players as you possibly can that are above average, that you are going to be a good player, that did exceptional that season.
So pull up the 2023 draft.
No, from your head. Since there's a lot of trash in this year's draft.
Well, that's true. Oh, how about this? I have a question for you. Tell me the draft that back in 2019 that's made it now.
I could.
Do you want me to just go through
2020?
Do you want me?
Go through the list, Zach. Go through the list, Zach.
Want me to go through the first round draft picks and you tell me how many actually? Okay. So obviously, Wemby, Brandon Miller, Scoot Henderson has in the league so far. Both. Yeah, but he's in the league though. That's what I'm saying. He's in the league.
He is in the league.
The Thompson twins. Okay. Now here's where it gets weird. Anthony Black, Bilal Coulibaly, Jarris Walker, Taylor Hendricks, Cason Wallace, Jet Howard, Derek Lively II, Grady Dick, Jordan Hawkins, Kobe Buffkin, Keontae George, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jaime Jaquez, Brandon Podziemski from the Warriors, Cam Whitmore, Noah Clowney, Dariq Whitehead, Chris Murray, uh, Olivier Maxence Prosper, Marcus Sasser, Ben Shepard, Nick Smith Jr., Bryce Sensabaugh, Julian Strother, Kobe Bryant. There's only a handful of first round draft picks
Kobe
that have
Bryant.
actually spent quality time in the NBA. So
Right.
this is just showing that it has never been talked about so much where there's been so many bad players. But I just named you first round picks from last year, and there's obviously probably
Handful.
Victor as the superstar, and then just a handful of potential starters and role players.
That is true.
A
You're
lot
right.
of that was players I didn't even heard of.
Yeah, me
Now
too.
there are some that I know that are actually playing, like Marcus Sasser. There is another player that's playing okay in the summer league right now, but like they didn't have any good quality minutes or good roles in the NBA. It's just, and now if I get into second round draft picks, I mean I'm sure that's only going to be even worse. So
Right.
it's like it's to show that I'm like, yeah, Bronny's played bad, but as a 55 overall pick, this is like expected for him to do nothing, right?
And then for you to-
That's
and then
that's
for
the
you to
whole
bash, and for you to bash
that's the
on
whole
him.
point we're talking about is
And
that
then-
he's
I've heard he's playing great defense too. I've
he's
heard-
playing
No,
good
he's
defense,
playing,
but
he's
like
playing very well defense. He's playing very good defense.
He's all right.
Very good.
he's
No, no,
making plays,
never
but
watched
like
him, so you can't really say
Wait,
nothing.
wait. Hold on.
obviously you gotta have some sort of offensive game to touch the court, and if he's not
Right.
hitting open shots, like he has not earned a chance to be on the NBA. I'll make that clear. I actually think that he'll get on because of his name. But I'm saying that his expectations, though,
It's
there
low.
isn't any
It's
because he's
low,
a second
very
round.
low.
He,
Right.
he needs to
Here's
start in the
here's a
D
stat. Here's a stat for you. And if you look at the last 10 picks, 55 overall, the last 10, there's only been one player that has actually played over 82 games last 10 years, and that's Wiggins from the Thunder. Everybody else has played under career 82 games. It's just to show that these second round and even first round, majority of them are trash. They actually don't pan out in the NBA. So like
Bums.
that's the
look up-
whole
look up
thing
prob-
I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but is
What-
that because just players aren't that good nowadays? Because back in the
They're
day,
definitely better than plumbers.
back in the day, you had guys, you had at least 5 to 7 guys that are doing something I mean, for instance, Jordan's draft, Hakeem Olajuwon, Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Alvin Robertson, Otis Thorpe. Those are all guys that contributed and were good NBA players.
They
It's just
also went
that
against
How many
the
did you
talent's
think-
not as good now as it
how many
was
did you
back in the
name-
day?
how many did you
No,
name?
the talent is so good,
Good.
that these players don't make it because the talent's so good. If you look at average role players and what they can actually do, it is far better than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago.
But the first round of this draft, they're trash. There's no good players
That-
whatsoever.
and I could go
That's
through
because-
a couple years after and before Jordan where there's not that many good players, but I can also bring up other drafts where there's been a bunch of star players. This happens all the time. You're gonna get streaks where there's bad classes. You're gonna get streaks like literally. You got Victor as a superstar, and then obviously you have talks of Cooper Flag coming in, and who knows who else is gonna develop. But it's to show that like if you have no expectations when you actually look at these players drafted. Like it's so hard to play in the NBA because now these players, that's all they do for a living. Like it is unfortunate that older players, yeah, they had to have another job because it didn't pay as much. But nowadays, all you do is play basketball because you get paid enough and you're in the gym constantly. You're in the gym when you don't even want to be in the gym. Okay, but obviously that's what you get paid for to do it, and the talent has just gotten so far and above. Like if you look at the average role player and what they can actually do, like they're cooking majority of regular just pick up back. Like you see it all the time. You see Peyton Pritchard, solid role player. He's gone in summer leagues and he's scored 92 points. He'll go and he'll just cook regular guys that just are actually good basketball players. They can act, have played overseas and whatnot, but those guys cook. I'm talking cook. You see all the time bench players. Kemba Walker's not even in the league. He dropped like 90 points like a couple of weeks ago.
What
It's to
about
show that
Jimmer? Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmer Fredette, he's garbage in the NBA, but he goes overseas and averages
Drop
30,
100.
40 points. Like,
Drop 100.
it's to show how far that like the level of play has come, that it's so hard to make it into this league. Like, to even get drafted, to even get touch the court, like it's just that hard. I just think
I
there's
think
just
you're
something
right. I
about
think you're
there's
right.
just something about with Bronny coming in that like it's bringing now, because he's playing bad. Now it's like, oh my goodness, look at all this other picks that are playing bad. When it's like, well, yeah, if you actually look in the last 10 years, like most of these players, I just named you last year's draft. Most of those players don't even play. I feel like I'm talking a lot, and I'm just rambling now at this point.
Right.
But
Well,
No, but you're right though. You're right. You're right. You're
here's
absolutely right.
the difference between
thank you, Tino.
here's the difference between him and
I
what
agree with you,
all
Zach.
the other and what all the other players are. Okay, he didn't earn it. A lot of these. Hold on a second.
Earn what though? Earn
No,
what?
hold on. A lot of these players, whether through college or through international play, not all of them. I'm not saying they're making it. What I'm saying is that all of them worked hard and actually earned to have the opportunity to make an NBA team. Hold on a second.
But he made a D1 college.
Right. Whether it's through D1, you spent 2-3 years, whatever the case may be, you played in international and came back. But what you've done, whether you put up 12 points in 20 minutes, whatever, you earned the right to have the opportunity to make an NBA team or
Which
get
Bronny is doing.
Okay,
How do you determine who earns and doesn't earn? Like, how do you know he's not going and putting in hours and hours of work every day? How do you know that?
What did Bronny do? What did Bronny do to not earn it?
What did he not do?
What did
What has he
Bronny
not
do
done?
or not done? What do
He's
you?
gonna say.
Why do you think? Why do you think he should
points per
earn
day?
it?
Because he's not that good in comparison to a lot of these players that were coming in.
I just gave you first round draft picks of last year,
Right.
and they did nothing.
Right.
And now I just gave you a 55 overall pick. What do you
Okay.
mean earned
So-
it? He's clearly the same as them. I just gave you a bunch of guys that I haven't even heard of.
So you're saying
That's what the summer league is. The summer league is to earn a chance in the NBA, and I'll be the first one to admit he has not earned a spot on the Lakers. I'll
No, he needs
throw
to
that
go
out
G
there.
League.
But I'm
He needs
saying,
to go G League.
but I'm saying he's earned an opportunity, because first off, you don't know
I
what
don't-
work he hasn't.
I don't think he's earned the right to be where he is. It's what I'm saying. Let alone,
You don't know. You don't
you
know.
You want to?
You don't know. You don't know what work he has and hasn't put in, like in the basketball gym. You don't know that. And I've given you players this year in the draft that have put up. Look, AJ Johnson, right? You were just talking about him. He averaged 2.9 points in Australia, but guess what? He came now to the Bucks, and he's hooping. He's hooping. He's playing good basketball, and he right now is on the mark to earn a roster spot for the Milwaukee Bucks. That
agree.
earned chance is the summer league earned. He's earned a chance to play in the summer league because I would assume he's put in work in the court. Ronnie James has put in work in the court. He's played basketball, but guess what? He's not playing well in the summer league. He hasn't earned even a slim chance to play on the Lakers roster right now. But AJ Johnson,
Let me ask you this.
very poor number. That's the earned. Like,
Do you
I
think-
want to. My question is earn a Lakers roster spot or earn a spot in the summer league, because he's earned a spot in the summer league just based off other players of what they've done. Dadier averaged 5 points, and he's
So
not
you're
playing
not
well
even
either.
comparing to what he did. Now you're saying he's earned it because of the way the other players have either played or not
Yeah.
played.
Yeah.
That's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
if all these other players were averaging 20 points or so, like out in like overseas and whatnot, or like 12 or 13, but I looked in, I was like, okay, why is Bronny getting talked about with these numbers? I literally went through all these other second round draft picks, which AJ Johnson actually was, when he was taking the first. I looked at it, I was like, why? Just because he had a good comment, I was like, why is he getting talked about? Why is there's a potential? And I looked at all these other players, Dadier, AJ Johnson. There was like 2 or 3, like Nunez, for the Knicks, I believe, too, or the Nets. Bobby Clintman, I believe, was another name. Like, these guys didn't have great overseas numbers. I go, so clearly there is more to it in this specific draft class because I didn't look at the past ones. There's something about this draft class that it's more than just numbers. So they go off of like just potential. So they draft them or they bring them in, players undrafted, and put them in the summer league, and they say, okay, here you go, play basketball, earn a spot on the roster. That's what the summer league and the NBA draft is about. And I don't agree with like you got to show something. You can't just show 3 points, but like there's
Let me
I don't know.
Let me
Yeah,
ask
go
you a question.
ahead. Go ahead.
Let's say he maintains and it's going a downward spiral. For example,
Bronny.
do you honestly believe he will be left off the Laker roster opening night?
Now
Yes.
that's what we
Yes.
can get.
Yes.
What we can get talked
Yes.
into because, like I said, he
Yes.
hasn't earned a spot. But I will say, unfortunately, I
He needs to
think
be off
that
the roster.
I could see him being on the Lakers roster because of his name. And I would tell you, I don't agree with that. So my whole thing is there's a difference between just playing in the summer league and then actually being on the Lakers roster. I'm on your side. The way Bronny's playing,
He
if
needs to
he's
be G League.
if he's on this Lakers roster, it is clearly because of his name. I'm just
Right.
simply talking about being drafted. There are similar players with his numbers, and he did well. He did better than them in the combine. Now, when you actually look at the eye test and you see how he's playing, he's not earned a Lakers
But
roster spot,
everybody
but he's
here-
earned a spot on the summer league to play basketball.
So
Is that fair?
yeah, but I'm saying me personally, I personally don't put too much stock into the combine. But that's me.
But
That's me.
I'm fine with that, but I'm just saying, like, why is it Bronny's being potentially talked about as being drafted? I was like, it doesn't make any sense with these numbers. And I looked, and there are other players with similar numbers, and I go, okay, clearly that it's just more than what you put up overseas in college. I go, there's something more. I don't know what it is. I go, I wouldn't be drafting a player that averages 3, 5, 7, 8 points somewhere, but
The only
It-
answer I
it's-
can give you for all the players, not Bronny, for all the players, the only thing I can think of is that every executive, every scout, or every coach or whomever draft that player is that they all said the same thing. We see potential. Outside of that,
That's
what else is there?
you just said that.
That's
so-
the whole
that's
draft.
that's what I'm talking about.
That's
There's
what a
just
draft is.
there's
There
a
is.
potential. There's just potential there. And literally look at, I mean, AJ Johnson had worse numbers than Bronny James, and he was taken in the first round, but he came into the summer league and he's earned so far a spot on that Bucks roster, whereas Bronny hasn't. I'm like I'm on your side when it comes to like the Lakers roster. I'm just talking about summer league. That's the whole thing about summer league is go out there and earn a spot.
Everybody,
Yes.
every player has potential.
Like I could go out in the summer league and probably play better than Bronny is right now. I could probably go out and hit a couple open threes, but like
Everybody's got potential. Now,
like
if he makes that Lakers roster continuing to play like he
The
has,
way he is.
and it's because of his name. It's because of his
then
name.
there's an issue.
And I'll be the first one to say it. But I feel like you're like this like I don't know, like when you're talking about summer league, like the summer league is all about opportunity. And earning that like spot. He hasn't earned it. Like the whole thing is just about prove your worth. Like prove to us you deserve a spot on the roster. That's the whole point of summer league.
I think this kid is gonna prove a lot of people wrong. I think his nerves. I think he got nerves. I think is he's
He's
looking up to
scared.
the ability to, like, his dad put a ceiling that
Yes.
is so far to reach for him.
I agree.
So for him for him to even thinking about reaching it, he's got a lot. You know what I'm saying? The nerves is kicking in, but
And that's the thing with the second round draft pick is like you drafted to hopefully develop him. Like
right.
you can't have
Right.
an expectation of this second round 55 overall pick is gonna come out and he's gonna start on the Lakers. Like no, you develop him, you put him in the G League, you develop him. And that's what I'm saying. If he comes out and he he actually makes the Lakers roster the way he's playing, I go, it's clearly because of his name. But
I'm
like I
gonna
said,
say-
I can go through the last
Now
10,
I got another question.
55 overall draft picks.
Has anybody watched him play though?
Bronny?
He plays scared. He just
Yes.
hides in
Yeah.
the corner. He
He's
hides in the
getting-
corner.
And-
The only thing he does,
He has
the
a
only
pretty good.
the only
game.
thing he does is play defense. Yes, he's a good defender, but on offense, he's just in the corner. He doesn't want to touch the
That's
ball.
what I'm saying.
But
He's
here's
scared.
the
It's
thing,
like
though,
he's
like-
scared. Nerves. He's got nerves, man.
And here's the thing: that would be his role on the Lakers. Would be play defense, guard to guard, full court, and just hit an open corner wing shot. And he's not doing it.
Right.
Like there's no 50-foot. There's no
But he
second
doesn't
rounder where
even
you.
cut. He
But
doesn't
you're
even cut,
6
though.
foot. What
No,
is
here-
he? 6 foot
Here's
two?
the thing, though. What other second
gonna be
rounder
right.
are you expecting to go out and average 20 in a summer league game?
We're
That's
not
like
telling him
the-
to average 20.
No, I know,
I
but
don't
I'm saying
expect
like
him to
that's.
average 20.
I'm saying that's like what it
That's what
sounds like my dad's
everybody's-
saying. Is
that's what
he's
everybody's
expecting him to come
thinking.
out like
No,
and,
no, 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 no. I have to disagree with you, Tigo. That's not everybody's thinking. That was one ignorant person thinking that way. Not everybody. One.
What did Tigo say?
The one he said that I correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I believe you said that everyone is thinking that Bronny James is just gonna come out and ball 20 points. Did you say that? I don't want to put words
Right. Everybody think he's just gonna come out and balling, right?
everybody. But what I said to Tigo is I have to respectfully disagree with you because only one ignorant individual came out and blasted him up.
Okay, so
and,
why are you
and putting him
why,
up?
but,
okay,
and
why-
why are you putting that
why
on
are you-
Bronny though?
why are you blasting on him or whatever you're doing? You're bashing on him for doing what he's expected to do, and he's a second overall 55 pick.
Not according to his father. No.
But
You-
why is that Bronny
You're
though?
thinking-
Why
so
are
you're
you?
You said
So you're taking.
listen,
hold on,
you
no,
said-
hold on. So you're taking one person's word and making it like this big.
You set the expectation. People are coming. for
Okay,
you.
I didn't. Okay, hold on. I didn't hear you say anything. When it comes to the Ball brothers, I didn't hear you say anything about LiAngelo, the middle brother, not doing anything. I didn't hear anything like this.
Who? Which one again?
Just
Ball
because
brothers.
the Ball
LiAngelo.
brothers, just because their
LiAngelo.
dad came out and talked about his sons, that has nothing to do with
That's
Lonzo. That has
different.
nothing to do with LaMelo, and that has nothing to do. No, it's not different. It's the same exact thing.
It's the
You're
exact
right.
same.
LeVar Ball came out and was talking crazy for his sons. You don't take that out on Lonzo, LaMelo, and LiAngelo.
I agree with you on that.
You mean the
You
three
don't that is
Wait.
all LeVar Ball. You don't come at
you mean-
his
you mean-
sons for that
you-
for
like-
their dad saying
Are you,
stuff.
are you talking about the Melo, the Ball brothers, the soon?
Yes,
the soon
this is the
potentially
exact
to be
same.
boss? Yes,
Say that again.
that's
Oh,
the
say-
Ball brothers that are potentially soon to be major.
Lamelo's
busts.
not. Lamelo's not.
I said potentially.
Okay, that
LaMelo
could be
needs to
anyone.
stand up.
Anyone
But I
can
didn't.
be surprised.
My whole thing was I never heard you talk
Not every-
bad about those three like you are Bronny right now
Not everybody
because
not
of the things LeVar said.
like the Ball brothers did.
Dad, we're just talking about the father and the son. That's all we're
He's
talking
an idiot.
about.
The father was a moron. The father was a moron.
But
He's an
I'm saying I've never heard you say anything about Lonzo, LaMelo, or LiAngelo for the things their dad said. You just talked about him, LeVar.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
he's putting a bad look and high expectations on his sons. But you were focused on LeVar. Now all of a sudden, because it's LeBron, you're taking that out on Bronny. If I talk about Jack and saying like, oh yeah, Jack needs to be going out averaging 20 points for his high school, why are you going to take that out on Jack for something I
Because-
say?
Hold on a second. Again, skill level again, because the not the third, not the middle child. The middle child was no good. The oldest and the youngest, the oldest and the youngest actually put up numbers. They actually balled out, okay, and they actually did it. Bronny didn't. Like I don't. You guys gotta explain to me. You all keep saying,
Hold on, you kind of broke up.
I
You kinda
think
broke-
you said I went after LeVar's dad and
You mean
whatever, or, I mean, I'm sorry.
You went after LeVar
The
and
dad,
not
the
the
dad.
kids.
Okay, because because the kids actually balled out before.
Not
they came-
LiAngelo.
Let's say, and then when they came into the NBA, the younger one did. Then they actually got hurt. They actually started getting hurt.
Not LiAngelo.
The middle one.
Not the middle one.
Middle.
No, he did say
That's the one that got
He did
caught
say
in
that.
China stealing.
I said not including the middle one, not the middle one. He was
Yeah, but no, I am
He was in
including
the
the middle
China
one
shop
because
doing
LeVar
stuff.
talked about the middle one, and I'm saying you didn't say anything about LiAngelo. You didn't say anything about any of the Ball brothers, including LiAngelo, who's the one that hasn't even touched the NBA court. You haven't said anything about him. You'll talk about LeVar, but all of a sudden now, because it comes to
Why would I-
LeBron,
why would
you're
I-
going to talk about Bronny.
I want to talk about somebody that didn't make the NBA, didn't even smell the NBA.
Are you not connecting? Are you not?
Yeah, he's-
Is it not connecting for you?
So okay, how about this? So You want me?
I'm being dead serious.
I know you are. So you want me to lay off Bronny and go after other?
Yes.
No. Look,
I could
No,
do
go
that.
after
No.
LeBron.
Wait,
Go after
wait, wait.
LeBron.
It's LeBron.
I'm gonna make this
who's
real
saying
easy
this
for you. I'm gonna make this real easy for you, Dad. LeVar put a high pedestal on LiAngelo.
All three. All three.
And-
No, all three.
No, just wait. Just no.
Right. No,
Let's
I'm
just
sorry,
talk
Jack.
about
I'm sorry.
LiAngelo. Let's
I
just talk about
know,
LiAngelo.
I know.
Hold on.
I
Hold
know.
on. Let me finish. LeVar put a high pedestal on LiAngelo.
Yes.
Okay. LeBron put a high, whatever it was, high pedestal for Bronny.
Right.
LiAngelo didn't succeed that limit.
Didn't smell the NBA. So what's there to talk about? Didn't smell it.
Listen. You didn't hate on anything of what LiAngelo did. You didn't bash him. You didn't do none about making the NBA. You only did LeVar. But Bronny had that same thing. He was put on a high pedestal, but he didn't succeed. He as of right now,
So far.
he's not
Yep.
doing that. He's not doing good. And you're taking it out on Bronny.
Okay. All right. How far did D'Angelo or the middle child? He didn't get drafted. Did he get an
G
invite?
League.
He touched the summer
G
league.
League.
That's it. He
No,
touched
G
the
League.
summer and G League. That's it.
See, okay, but again, he went undrafted, got
Yeah.
invited, right? Got invited.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that should have been exactly the same scenario for Bronny James because
No.
he was
What is
not.
the difference? What's the difference between where he was drafted and literally three more players after him?
Oh,
There's literally no difference between him and then literally three more players being drafted before him. He's the
I'm gonna
same
tell you,
situation.
I'm
It's
gonna
the
tell
same
you.
situation. It's the
say
same
what's the
situation.
difference? You said what's the difference?
There
between-
is no difference. There is
Yes,
no
there is.
difference.
It's called money.
Literally.
Yes, there is a difference. There is a difference. It's called money. It's
I
called
don't-
contract.
I don't-
What does it have to do with Bronny? What does
I
it have to do with
I
Bronny?
don't think you're understanding our point. I really don't.
He's not. You're not.
You're bashing on Bronny because of what his dad said. Like that has nothing to do with Bronny. But when LeVar said about LiAngelo and LiAngelo did nothing, you didn't
Right.
say anything about LiAngelo. You didn't say, "Oh wow, this kid is whatever." But you took it out on LeVar. Why are you not taking it out on LeBron, but you're taking it out on Bronny?
So you want me to
Wait.
bring it up now? Is that what you want me to do? You want me to bring it up
No.
now? Because I didn't bring it
No,
up yet.
you're being a hypocrite.
Where are
You're
you?
being
Where are
a
you?
hypocrite.
So my
You're being a hypocrite.
so my point is not valid because I didn't. Not that I disagree with what
It's
you're
not
saying.
valid to go after Bronny
Because I
for
didn't
something
bring it
other
up.
people say about him.
Do you guys not
Like
do
Keith.
you guys not think that the Ball kids have been criticized because of what their father said?
Right, just because
I don't see people coming at the
I
Ball
don't
brothers
see
for the
people
things their
even
dad
coming
said.
out.
I see people focusing on LeVar and the things he said. I didn't see any of his sons getting like the
I
way my
agree.
dad is talking about Bronny. I haven't heard anybody talk about the Ball brothers like that.
I agree.
I agree with that.
I mean, I'm gonna have to
Thank
look,
you.
I'm gonna have to look up, but I'm
You
quite
say,
sure.
no, hold on. You say look, but you don't even know. You
I
say
agree
look
with
up,
that.
but you don't even know right now. You can't even recall anything. That's the whole thing we're talking
Well,
about.
everybody
You
was
can't
putting the
recall
Ball brothers
anything.
in a
It's
pedestal.
Literally,
I'm sure you'll
literally the
find
most
something,
negative-
but you can't actually recall anything right now. That's the whole point we're talking about.
So
most
Why
negative
are
stuff.
we focusing
The
on the
two
people
Ball brothers-
that aren't actually saying anything and trying to
hold on,
play
hold on.
basketball? Yeah,
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
Here's the difference. LeVar Ball. You know what? I'm taking out the middle child. I'm talking about the two kids in the NBA.
No, you have to
No,
include the middle child.
Oh,
That is the perfect example.
Well, he's
That's
the one
it.
that was never. He wasn't drafted.
I've always
Yeah.
said, first of all, I've always said, other people
That's
have
the
said,
point.
they said that the
Well,
middle
he's-
child.
that's why your
sucks.
dad's
I
saying.
said it. Because wait. So
You're not understanding either.
I
No,
understand
your
what you're
dad
saying.
is-
Hold on. Because
Aren't you saying, Efren? Aren't you saying because the middle child he wasn't drafted because
No,
he didn't earn that?
he
Because he
sucked.
didn't earn that, correct? And that's why
Bronny
you're
was
saying Bronny didn't
Three
deserve it.
picks.
Because he
Bronny was
didn't-
three
How did
picks
how did
away.
Bronny not deserve it? I've showed you other players with same numbers. I've showed you that. I've showed you how he performed in the combine that he earned a potential second round draft pick. I have showed you guys.
So then the middle ball child should have been drafted too. Then if
He
you're
had
going to
all-
use
he
that
didn't
scenario,
do anything. He
had
didn't do
all the
anything.
problems.
But what's crazy is too because he got a chance in the summer league and he still didn't do nothing.
Yes,
Yeah.
he played in the summer league. Thank you,
played
Jack.
in the Summer League. Just because he didn't
shit.
get drafted doesn't mean
So-
he didn't
so-
have a chance.
and
to
it's
be-
going to boil down to if Bronny gets a spot on
So
the
that's all we
Lakers
gotta wait to
with
see.
his play,
That's
then
all
it's
we
because of
gotta
his
wait.
name.
And
That's
I've been
all
the
we gotta
first
wait to
person to
see.
say that.
Yo,
I've been the
vote-
first person to say that it will be Bronny's name if he makes the roster right now. The whole point is you are coming after Bronny for things that other people are saying, but you didn't keep
About
that same
Bronny.
energy. You didn't keep that same energy when LeVar Ball was talking about his 3 sons, and LiAngelo fits that perfectly because he got a chance on the summer league, and I'm pretty sure he played in the G League too, and he
And
didn't
did
earn it.
nothing.
He didn't perform
And I'm
and
pretty
earn a spot
sure-
on the roster.
And
Pretty
wasn't they saying that he was better than the other two?
A better
No, no.
shooter.
The
A
young
better
shooter.
shooter.
The
That
young
was
guy.
it. Just a shooter.
To me, so even though I
And
know
size.
what I've said in the past about LeVar Ball and the 3 kids, but because I wasn't so open or so outspoken, or because I may have said Bronny James and LeBron James 3,431 times, but I only talked about the Balls 2 times. That's your argument.
You never talked. You never talked
That's
about
my
him at
argument.
all.
Maybe not
You
to you.
never.
Maybe not to
I'll
Maybe
answer
not to
that.
you. I agree with you.
Hold
You
up, hold
never
up.
talked about the Suns for something their dad said about them. You just said
So
LeVar
what?
Ball. I really don't think he should be talking like that because he's putting a lot of high
Maybe-
expectations on his sons. But you
Maybe I
never
didn't-
came at their sons for that.
Maybe you and I never back then, those years back then, maybe you and I never talked about
What'd you say? What'd you
Oh,
say?
What have I said about it specifically? Maybe not to you. What I said was is that LeVar Ball is a moron. He's an idiot.
No, about the Suns. What have you said about the
What did he
Suns?
say about the Suns?
The middle child, garbage.
Okay.
Oldest one and the youngest one, both of them did well enough. And remember, the youngest one actually, if I recall correctly, I don't know if he went to the G League or went overseas
went
to play.
overseas. He
Thank
went
you.
Overseas.
So, exactly. So they both did their part because the oldest one went to UCLA. They proved themselves. They were drafted.
I don't know.
I don't believe.
So why are you coming after Bronny, saying all these things about him when you could just simply say, yeah, he's just not playing well. He doesn't deserve. Like, you're going even further beyond that, like completely bashing him. If you just say, yeah, he sucks.
I'm
like-
out of line to say he didn't deserve to be drafted. Is that what you're saying? I'm
Well,
out of line.
Zach has literally proved why he
I've
should've-
shown you. And what is the difference between where he was drafted and then being undrafted when it's 3 picks? It's a 3 picks difference.
He
It's
went
a
on
three
he
picks
literally just-
difference.
This live stream, he just went on a 5-minute rant on why he
Okay.
should have been drafted.
So,
Were you
so,
not
so-
Give him a
I
contract.
have.
No, it doesn't
I
earn you a
have-
contract.
I thought they
No, I
signed
have
him
heard
already.
what
They did, but it doesn't earn
But
you.
I go- so in the future, moving forward, if I really like a guy so much that I see potential and he's averaging 0.8 points, 0.2 assists, 0.1 rebounds, all I have to do is find someone else in the draft that's worse to validate my argument in supporting him.
The whole
The
The
draft
whole-
is
the
all
whole-
about potential.
the
draft
whole
is
thing
all
is-
about
I'm gonna
potential.
say-
Hold on.
Exactly. The whole thing is about potential. I've shown you that if there were other players in this draft that weren't averaging what Bronny's averaging, I'd say there's no shot he should be even talked about being drafted. But I put the time in. I did the research, looked
I
at
know
every other second round potential draft pick, and there are plenty of them that have the same numbers as them. So I said, okay,
I'm
like,
gonna go
and then
take
and
it
how
in the
and how, okay, go ahead.
I'm saying I'm gonna take it and assess the individual. I am not taking the guy that I'm gonna support and say, okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, I've got 19,331
I
guys.
can't hear you.
I've got about 19,331 guys that I can actually use that has worse numbers that got invited to the summer league, either got drafted or undrafted or whatever the case may be, to make my argument so I can have my guy be in there.
Isn't that
See,
how
I'm
you-
not doing that.
Isn't that
I'm
how
gonna,
you?
I'm
Isn't
gonna
that,
take.
isn't that how you draft a player? You would pick.
You
the
need
best-
to
no?
You
no,
need
no.
to look at everything.
What
Clearly,
do you
it's
mean?
it shows that clearly what you put up numbers wise. There's more to it. Literally, look at AJ Johnson, average
It's-
2.9
it's-
points, and
it's-
he's in the
it's-
summer league averaging about like 13, 14 points.
It's probably your worth your work
Because maybe they took into consideration, may not be the greatest point, but maybe they took into consideration that while in Australia, if they do have a professional team, he's playing with professional team. He's playing with actually grown men. We don't know the backstory why he only averaged 2 points a game. We don't know that. I'm gonna
He
take
played 20 minutes a game. He played 20 minutes a game, same as Bronny.
That's fine. But again, you can't compare a USC team
20
that
minutes, 20
sucked-
minutes.
that suck compared to potentially an Australian professional team. To
But
me,
you're
those-
not comparing that.
But
you're
we're
not
talking about
comparing
stats here. That's the whole thing we've been talking about is stats. That
Bronny's
it's
a
clearly
different
more than just
player.
what you put up numbers wise.
Hold up. Let me say
Yeah,
something.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Bronny's a different player than LaMelo, than LiAngelo, than LeVar. Wow,
You can say that about
LeVar,
anybody.
Not much difference
Ball.
than LiAngelo.
No, but the problem is that when you're drafting in the second round, you're purely drafting off of potential and what you want to get out of that player.
And
That's
developing
what you're
them,
drafting
yes.
in this and
Yes.
developing that
But-
player.
But
I-
maybe he got his
James
father
is a
work
developer,
skills.
developing player that needs to work on his shot, needs to work on creating his own shot, getting his offense. He is a role player that is made to be a two-way defensive player that can cut, can jump, can shoot corner threes. If he can't do that, he won't be in the NBA and he shouldn't be in the NBA. That's
pretty
how
sure
it
what-
is.
I'm pretty sure what Efren's point is that if LeBron wasn't on the Lakers,
he would
would
not
never got
even be
drafted.
drafted.
But I have and I have showed you that it's not just numbers.
He wouldn't have got drafted.
It's
There's
not
no
just
way that
okay.
the team
You
would
You
have
know what?
drafted him.
You know what? Even
You
if he
don't
didn't
know
get
Come on.
hold on. Even if he didn't get drafted,
He barely made it.
even if he didn't get drafted, somebody's still gonna pick him up for the summer league. It's probably gonna be the Lakers.
Yeah.
So whether or not he gets drafted or not, the Lakers are
Not
picking him up anyway.
Not if LeBron wasn't on that team.
And
they were gonna pick
I have showed you that it's more than just numbers and stats that you put up. I have shown you this. I will go and I will list
Why
off all these
am
players
I-
that average 5 points a game.
I
There's
am
players
not,
that haven't even been drafted playing
not-
better than him.
I am
And then,
not,
okay, name one in the summer league that's undrafted that's playing better.
I am not
Point exactly. And you gotta look it up because you can't even think about it. You
I'm
gotta
not-
look it up.
Because it's not that important.
This is what-
because Bronny
that's-
sucks.
And he does suck, but he's earned a chance to
not-
play on
not
the
that
summer
important, mate.
league. The summer league is
He
all
shouldn't
about
have been drafted.
opportunity.
That's the point.
AJ Johnson, 2.9 points. Does he deserve to be drafted? Silence.
At that-
Thank you.
without-
Thank you. Thank you.
Without time,
Thank
he
you.
deserves-
Obviously, he got
Thank
drafted,
you.
and it wasn't because of his name.
And it shows that it's more than just stats. You guys are not understanding. It's that this whole draft is more than just stats.
Stats.
No,
It's
no,
about
no,
what they
hold
do on the
hold on,
court. Do
because
they play
everybody said they
defense
got-
good? Are they able
everybody
to
said-
guard multiple positions?
Oh my God.
Are they able to?
Did
push and
AJ
play
Johnson
different?
deserve to get drafted, averaging 2.9 points?
I didn't see him
No.
play.
Did AJ Johnson deserve to get drafted, averaging 2.9 points?
No.
Based on
Anybody
the
else?
Self.
Anybody else?
Specifically, not taking anything else into consideration. No.
That's what Zach's saying. There's more
Right.
to it.
That's
than
my
just-
whole
That's what
point
he's saying.
exactly.
It's more
That
to
it's
it.
more than just stats.
And what did I say? I say I am going to take a little different approach. Someone playing overseas than someone playing here because I don't know the nuances or the
And-
type of players they
and-
do over
and you
there.
wanna
I'm
know
not.
what? And you
That's
wanna know what?
different. First of all, you can't compare playing an 18-year-old with a 30-year-old. You can't.
And you want to know what? You're right.
He averaged 2.9
He,
2.9
Johnson
points
was
playing
drafted in the
7.7
first
minutes a
round.
game.
Okay, and would you draft him?
But that's why he only
Would you
averaged
draft
2.9
him? Would
points.
you draft him?
Obviously, they did.
Would you draft him?
Depends on who else is available.
Would you draft him?
If he was the best available, yes, I would.
Would you draft him?
If he was the best available, yes,
Would
I
you have
would.
drafted him last this
Just
this
say
season?
it.
This
Three
season,
times I answered you.
So if you're gonna draft him at 2.9 points, looking at his numbers, then you're gonna draft Bronny, who averaged 5.
I said
That's
no.
the whole point we're talking about.
No.
It's
I
more
said
than
no.
just
Yes.
stats.
I agree.
I said
agree.
no.
He just said yes. So and with that in mind, then I'm gonna draft Bronny because he averaged 5.
So,
That's the whole
okay.
point we're talking. I wouldn't draft a player that's averaging this number, but clearly these GMs are looking at more than just stats. That's how they're doing it. So when you factor that in, not just your opinion, when you actually factor in and use your brain to think, okay, you know what, these GMs are drafting players more than just their
Can't
stats,
answer
but
the
also
phone.
potential.
I get something down to the
There's
phone.
clearly more. There's clearly more to it than just numbers. Okay, there's clearly more to it than just numbers. And for y'all to act like Bronny James was drafted first round, 20th overall, he wasn't. He was
No, yeah, but Alex Sarr went 0 for 15, second overall pick. But let's keep that same energy.
There were, like Zach said, there were 3 players after Bronny. He was drafted second round, 55th overall. He wasn't drafted in the first round.
Why was he
The
drafted?
point is, if his
Why was he
father
drafted?
wasn't on the Lakers, he
Zach
wouldn't have
just
been
said on why
drafted.
he
Okay, he would have got picked up. He would have got picked up because
He
there's
got
other
picked
players
up.
with similar numbers.
I know that.
plays with
If
similar
he's-
numbers.
you don't
So
know.
I
And
got
guess
a
what? And guess
question.
what? He
I got a question.
outperformed them
Hold
in the
on.
NBA Combine.
But you don't know.
Hold on.
I do know that. He outperformed them in the
You
NBA
don't know
Combine.
that he would
Hold
get
on.
picked up. If his
Okay,
father
so I
was
got a
not on the
question.
Lakers, you don't know that he would get picked
That's a
up.
what
Hey,
if.
okay,
That is a what
based
if.
off-
That's a what if.
based off of what these other players stats wise have put up and that he outperformed them in the NBA Combine, I can pretty confidently say that he can be on the Summer League. Now, whether or not there's a difference between playing on the Summer League and then actually earning a spot on the NBA roster. I don't know if you guys are like understanding the difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I get what Zach's saying. I get.
Thank
what
you,
Zach is-
Tigo. Thank you. That's the whole
So,
point I'm trying to
But
make.
we're coming up on an hour and 25 minutes now. So
That's
I mean, we could keep going if like there's more to be said.
There's no time limit.
Listen, at the end,
we're
listen,
kind
at
of
the end
being
of
a
the-
dead horse here on this topic of Bronny
Hey,
James and him.
If
getting
people are
drafted.
enjoying it, people are enjoying
Because
it.
it's about ifs. We're talking about ifs here.
Let's-
But
No. The biggest
You know
what
what I
if
mean?
is no. The biggest what if that I've heard is when Uncle Keith said he wouldn't be drafted because of if LeBron wasn't in the league. That's the biggest what if. Like you can't really.
It's an
That's not
if.
an argument.
You
That's
can't-
not
you
an
Just
can't
argument.
say that.
just like it's a what if
Not
he
an
would be
argument.
picked
No,
in the
that is
summer
not an
league.
argument. That is not an
It's
argument.
also, it's also
You can't
what
say if
the
someone
first
wasn't in the
round-
league
if
that
the
someone
first-
wouldn't have been
it's
drafted.
also,
You cannot
hold
say
on,
that.
Hold on. It's also a what if. It's also a what if the first overall pick doesn't turn out. It's also a what if the second overall pick doesn't turn out. There's always
Everything's
other
a what
players
if.
to pick.
Why are we even
Okay.
talking then? Everything's a what if.
Why are we coming after Bronny for the numbers he's putting up when the second overall pick just went 0 for 15? But let's
Man.
chastise Bronny James for
Right.
what he's been pretty much expected to do. Nobody's expecting him to come out and put up these offensive numbers. Now I'm saying though he hasn't earned an NBA opportunity, and I'll be the first person to say that it will be because of his name if he's on the NBA right now.
That's what your dad was saying.
No.
He is-
He's talking about Summer League. He's talking about Summer League.
Listen to me.
That's what he's been saying.
Listen to me. Your dad's saying that because yes, he is expected to put up those numbers because of what his dad said.
No, my dad has been saying
That's-
that.
No, because of what
that's
LeBron
only
said.
LeBron.
My-
So he's
Only
expected to
coming
put
from
up those
LeBron.
numbers.
My
But
dad
that
has
is only
said
coming
that
from Brown.
he
No
won't
other
draft
reporter.
players based off of stats, and that he's chastising Bronny James for. He's taking it out on Bronny for the things his dad is saying. That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking. Yes.
LeBron-
no,
LeBron
don't
came
say
out-
no. Ask him.
LeBron,
Ask him.
LeBron came out, put this.
That's LeBron.
And why is that on Bronny?
That's
Why is that on
one
Bronny?
person.
Listen, you're not listening to me. Listen, stop. Quiet. LeBron came out, put this expectation on how his son is, how good he is, who he's better than.
Yeah.
And now he has expectations on him. So when
That's
he's not
what I'm
fulfilling
saying.
those expectations,
That's
What
what I'm
does
saying.
that
He
have
put
to
the
do with
ceiling
LeBron?
so high.
And why is that on Bronny?
What does that have to do?
Right.
with
it's
Bronny?
not on Brian. He shouldn't be where
Then
he's
why are
at.
we putting it on
So why?
Bronny?
So that's the whole point. My dad is taking that out on Bronny. That's the whole point I'm making.
Because the pressure from LeBron is why he's where he's at right now.
That's fine, but don't take that out on Bronny for the things
Right.
that somebody else is saying about him.
And it's
That's the
only
whole
one
point I'm
person.
making.
And it's literally only one person.
Literally ever since his argument has started from whatever it was from last podcast, mine and Zach's, I don't know who else is agreeing with us. It's that you are taking it out on Bronny for the things that LeBron has said. Why are you not taking it out on LeBron, but instead you're taking it out on Bronny?
I get what y'all saying with that. Like taking
Yeah,
that like
why can't we put the why can't we call out LeBron for putting these
Exactly.
expectations on Bronny when no
Exactly.
one else, no scout, no reporter, nothing has put those expectations on Bronny. All
Exactly.
they have said is he's a role player at most. At most.
But I've been
he's a
saying,
role player.
excuse me, you all keep saying I don't call him out, LeBron. What part
No.
of
We're not
No,
saying
you're
that. We're just
calling
saying
out
that you are also taking it out on Bronny. You have taken it out on LeBron.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that you're also then taking it out on Bronny, and I'm saying that's what's unfair.
I've done
You
both.
are.
I am not denying it. If y'all let me talk, I will never deny what I'm saying. I
Okay,
am
go.
not
Just
denying
go.
it.
Okay, go ahead. Go
What
ahead.
I'm saying is, I do take it out on LeBron. When I say ignorant person, I just don't call him out by his name.
Okay.
Ignorant person. So
Okay.
yes, I have been saying it. I've been calling him out.
Okay,
And
now-
yes,
okay.
and hold on. And yes, I am gonna say something about him. I am, because he's the one on the court. Just because he didn't say it, it doesn't mean you're not gonna talk about him. That doesn't make any sense. So if you've got an athlete that
So-
doesn't, no. If you have an athlete that doesn't say anything, doesn't talk, someone else praises him, but he's doing crap on the court or the field, we are not allowed to chastise him. We are not allowed to criticize him because he didn't say anything.
No, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I'm not gonna take it. You can't take it out on Bronny. You can't take what other people are saying about him on Bronny when he's gone out and said, "I just want to play in the NBA."
Let's look at
And
this.
clearly,
Let's look at the bigger.
you didn't keep that same energy with LeVar Ball towards his sons.
Yeah, let's look at the bigger picture. Hold on. Let's look at the bigger picture. We have a second round, 55th pick overall.
Who did deserve it?
Okay, hasn't said anything.
And I brought up why.
All he said,
I brought up why.
hold on. All he said,
deserve it.
second round, 55th pick. All he said was that I want you playing in the NBA. Hasn't said anything else. Hasn't said he's better than anyone. Hasn't said he should start over anyone. He's going out and he's performing as expected. He's not doing the best, and yet you're gonna chastise him or whatever you do. You're bashing him for doing what he's expected to do.
Based on the ignorant person.
No,
yes.
I'm not talking about him. I'm not talking about him.
You can leave
And
it
I'm
out.
not. Hold on. Hold
You
on.
can leave
I'm
it out.
So
looking
hold
at
up.
the bigger
So
picture.
Jack,
We
can I
let's
add
look-
into your?
let's look at- hold on. Let's look at Bronny
Yeah.
for a second. Just Bronny, not LeBron. Just Bronny.
Yes.
Second round, 55th pick overall. Okay, that's 3 players after, and that's it. He's averaging. He's doing what he's expected to do, which is nothing. All he said is that he wants to play in the NBA. That's it. He hasn't said he's better than anyone. He hasn't said that he should start over anyone else. And you're bashing him for what?
He's not doing this.
Because
he's trying to earn a spot in the NBA because he's trying to go out and actually play well in the summer league. You're bashing him for that because he's trying to make a name for himself.
I'm not bashing him because he's trying to make a name.
You are. You
Bash
just
him.
said you are.
Before we go off on a tangent here.
I am criticizing his play. He can't.
That's fair.
Shoot
That's
threes.
fair.
That's fair.
He can't
That's
shoot
fair.
free
That's fair.
throws. He can't shoot overall.
See, that's
he can't
fair.
rebound.
That's
He
fair.
can't-
That's fair.
That's
He can't
fair.
run- He can't run an offense.
See, that's
That's
fair.
fair.
But why are you not
That's
doing that?
that's fair. But when you're saying he doesn't deserve to even play on the summer league, that's wild. That's hating right now because you're not actually looking at the whole picture. You're being ignorant of everything else. You're just factoring in, oh yeah, he sucks. He doesn't deserve a spot. You're being ignorant of everything else.
Watch this.
We
Watch this.
agree with his play.
All this would be. Watch this. All of this argument that the both of you are putting, or whomever it is defending Bronny, all of that will be meaningless if he continues to play that way. He makes the roster.
Yeah.
Then you
that's
can
an issue.
apologize and say you were right. You were right. You were right.
Whoa.
Dad.
Apologize for what? Because I have said 3 times.
He should not be on the roster.
Hold on.
Dad.
Hold on. Have I said multiple times on this episode, and I know Tigo because he's the one that's being very neutral right now, haven't I not said the way Bronny's playing right now, if he makes an NBA roster, it is simply because of his name. Have I not said that multiple times this podcast?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Yes,
So don't
did.
speak on me and the things that I'm saying.
What
are we talking about?
I'm gonna take the argument even further. Then I'm gonna use that as an
I'm
argument.
not apologizing for something I agree with.
Wait. No. But I'm gonna take the argument even further. What that means is that he then truly wasn't drafted because he earned to be drafted. His daddy made it happen.
Dad.
Can I ask a question?
No.
Let me ask a question.
No.
Let me ask
This
a
goes
question.
back.
No.
This goes back to
We
the
already
beginning.
got
This-
signed
this-
to a 4-year deal.
To develop. This is the whole point of the summer league is to earn an opportunity. And guess what? He hasn't earned it. That's the whole point we're talking
He
about.
hasn't earned it, and he got signed already.
He gets signed for less than $2 million a year.
He still got signed.
That's fine.
Everybody
to be
gets
developed.
No other
To be
players have been
developed.
signed.
To be developed. To be developed. That's on the Lakers. I'm not signing him to a 4-year deal. But guess
Hold on.
what?
But why do you
They
think he
signed
was
that.
signed to a 4-year deal?
To be developed.
May I
Why are you?
ask my question?
What other reason are you signing a second round 55th overall pick
You
to develop him? Are you not?
Who else has
Let me
been
ask my
signed?
question.
I don't
Let me ask
know.
my question. Let me ask
I don't
my
know.
question. Let me ask my question. What do you expect out of a second round pick compared to an undrafted pick? What do you expect
See, I know what you're doing.
overall?
Isaiah Wong, Luis
No,
Santos,
overall.
Aaron Wiggins, Jay Scrubb, Kyle Guy, Arnaldus Koboka, Nigel Williams-Goss, Marcus Page, Katie Lillane, Samaj Christian, Joffrey Laverne, Darius Johnson-Odom. Those are the last 10 players that were drafted 55th overall.
Right.
That's his competition, Bronny.
And
Nothing.
hold on a second.
Nothing.
Did they earn it? Did they earn a spot to be drafted?
No. And how many of them received a 4-year guaranteed contract?
That I agree. He shouldn't have been signed 4 years. But
I agree.
I'm talking. But
How can you not
I'm-
know why he was signed for a 4-year?
I'm talking about summer league and being drafted in and of itself. Making the roster and then what you signed for are different things. I'm simply focusing on the fact that when it comes to other numbers, yeah, how we performed at the combine, yeah, I think he deserves a chance to play in the summer league and try to make the NBA roster.
How do you guys not see that before he even played a summer league game, he got signed before no other player got that?
That's on the Lakers.
Exactly.
That's
That's
on the
the
Lakers.
Lakers,
father.
though.
That's on the Lakers.
It's because of his father. Why don't you guys see that?
That is irrelevant to the point of actually trying to go out and hoop in the summer league
But
and
this
make
is-
the roster.
This is the whole reason.
You're signed as a second rounder to develop.
I don't.
This
think
is
you
the
guys-
whole reason why he was drafted in the first place, because of his father.
And I've told you before that he's had other numbers,
Which
other
is the
players
thing.
with similar numbers. AJ Johnson, 2.9 points, drafted in the first round. Guess what? He made it. He's hooping in the summer league. He's earned an opportunity on the NBA roster. That's the whole point.
He got drafted because of his father, and he got his 4-year deal. Because
AJ Johnson, why'd he get drafted 2.9 points? Why'd he get drafted? Because there's potential, right?
did he get a deal yet?
Hey,
Actually, he did.
I
He
am
was signed to a
making
contract, actually.
an argument that I am going to
I think it was a 1 year, but he was signed.
internationally. And look, I said that because I don't know much about international play. So I'm not going to sit here and make a comparison to international players.
It's about the
American
stats.
players. I'm
It's
not.
about the stats.
I'm not.
It's about the stats. If Bronny was the only player drafted with these numbers, I'm completely on your guys' side. He doesn't deserve a chance to even be drafted. He doesn't deserve a chance to be on the summer league. But there are other players this year that are playing on summer league teams with similar numbers, players that were also drafted. So he's earned an opportunity to play in the summer league and try to earn a spot on the NBA roster. That's the whole point I'm talking about.
As an undrafted free agent, then the answer would be
That's
yes.
fine. That's fine. But I've showed you other players that are drafted with similar numbers. So somebody drafted in the first round with the same less than statistical numbers. It's the whole point.
And he's not wrong.
I didn't say that.
And then for
he's-
you guys to say that, if he gets a roster spot because of his dad, we've literally been agreeing with you this whole
Y'all are
time.
being
Yeah, for
y'all
real.
being ignorant to the bigger picture. Y'all being ignorant to the other stats of the other players, and that there's more to the being on a summer league team than just stats. Y'all are being ignorant to it. I'm gonna just call it how it is.
So if he makes the roster with the crappy numbers or worse,
Then there's
what
an
you
issue.
all need- no, right. What then you all need to understand then is that everything that you all said to defend him, why he should have been drafted or
Yeah,
this
you-
and that.
No,
Guess
that's
what?
not.
There's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference
No.
between earning an NBA roster and earning a chance to play in the summer league. Eagle, is there a difference?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is a
Thank
difference.
you. Thank you. There's a difference.
Yeah,
And I've said
clearly-
multiple times if he's on the Lakers roster, it is because of his name.
I don't think
Stop
Yeah.
being ignorant between the
Hold on.
difference of an NBA roster and the summer league.
I don't think anybody in here believes he has earned the chance to play on the active roster.
Exactly.
For the
Thank you.
Lakers.
So for you to say
If-
that
and-
our
and
entire
if he
argument
gets on the
is you
Lakers
have
from
to
this
apologize
I
from the
said if
performances,
if
It's
he
crazy.
makes the team,
Okay.
It's
We all
insane.
know that. We all know
And
that.
then we all know
We all
why.
know
We all
that.
know that. We all
We
know
would
that.
all know why.
We're
We
agreeing
would
with you.
all
We're
know
agreeing
why.
with you.
We all know that.
Yeah, and my whole thing is the summer
We
league.
would all know why.
Listen,
My whole thing is just trying to play on a summer league.
Wait. If you would know why he makes that team, why isn't nobody in agreement that he shouldn't even been drafted in the first place?
Because that's a what if.
Because I've showed you other players in the draft with same statistical numbers, and he outperformed them in the NBA Combine. How many times do I have to say this?
it's because you guys think LeBron is this whatever.
AJ
player.
Johnson
No,
averaged
that's an if.
2.9 points and was drafted in the first round. So, with that being said, if there's a player in the NBA draft that has 2.9 points, is it fair for a player to be drafted with 5?
Yeah.
Yes. Like,
hey, I'm in a different boat. I told you, I'm not comparing international to that. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Okay, but stop being ignorant of the whole picture with NBA GMs and how they look at things. Stop being
And I-
ignorant to the whole picture. You're being ignorant.
And I answered your question when I had drafted him, and I said no. You asked me
Okay.
But
earlier.
no, but here's the thing. No, that wasn't my question just now. I said if there's a player that's drafted with 2.9 points, is it fair then to draft a player averaging 5.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Okay.
that's the whole point I'm making about. So you just agreed then that Bronny, considering that there have been other players drafted, that it makes sense for Bronny to be drafted with those numbers, considering there are players drafted with others.
But
You
I'm
just
not gonna
agreed
look
with
at just
that.
the 5 points. I want to look at other things too.
That's fair, but I'm just talking about how the NBA GMs look at it.
I got a question as well. What happens if Bronny was drafted by a different team than the Lakers, and Bron stayed in
That's
LA?
I hate saying that, but that's a moot point because his agent made it known that not to draft him because he's not gonna go and play and sign a
Right.
for GL.
I seen that interview too
That's
where
a moot
Rich Paul
point. I
said
know
that.
what you're saying. If he was drafted with another team,
Yeah.
but that opportunity never existed.
We just
Yeah,
gotta
I
talk
get what
about
you're
what
saying.
is. We gotta talk about
So-
what is. No
So
hypotheticals.
what is if
Yeah, we
so
can't talk
what
about
is if they put him on the Lakers active roster opening day?
It's because of his name.
We
It's
know
It's because of his name.
We
all
all
know
know
why.
why. We all
We
know.
all
on
know
behalf-
why.
We're not in
When I
disagreement.
say this, on behalf of literally every single person in this podcast, including
Yeah.
you, everyone, if he continues with these crappy numbers, with the numbers he's putting up right now, and he gets a spot on the roster,
We
on
know
the
why.
NBA roster, it's because of his dad. It's
I'll
because of
even
his-
go out to say if he has bad games, right, going forward, but he plays an absolute great, amazing game, his very last game, I will then still admit that it's because of his name.
100%.
Of course.
If he has 5 horrible games, but even on that one game, he has like 30 points, and then he had 30 points, we're gonna put him on the roster. I will still say it's because of his name.
Of
He has
course.
not
He
earned an
needs
opportunity to be on the
consi-
Lakers.
he
I'm not in
needs
disagreement with you guys.
consistency
And it's
and
only
I'm just
because of
talking. I am simply talking about an opportunity to play in the summer league
That's it.
and being drafted because he's had similar numbers as other drafted players.
Right.
So for you guys to sit here and say it's just because of his name when you're not looking at the whole picture is ignorant. I'm sorry to say.
They're blinded by the hatred.
Dude, you keep
I'm
saying-
really sorry to say.
But the
You're
same-
taking it out on Bronny for the things that LeBron said. That is a little hatred. I'm sorry to say. It's a little ignorant too.
Hold on a second. But the same.
Well, it's
Yeah.
ignorant for his dad to come out and say that he's better than
Yeah,
all
but
these other
then-
NBA players,
I
and then
agree.
get mad when his son is
agree.
criticized.
But what they're
that's
saying
ignorant.
is
But no.
blame the
Why are
dad
you
for that.
coming at his son though for the
Blame
things
the
his
dad
dad
for that.
said?
Right.
I'm coming
Blame
at
the
his
dad
son
for that.
because he's playing like trash. That's what I'm coming at.
That's fair, but you
That's
can't
fair.
sit there and say that he hasn't earned an opportunity to just earn the summer league. No, you said that.
I'm not saying-
No, you did say it though.
I'm not saying that I'm coming down on him because of his dad anymore. I'm coming down on him now because he's playing like trash.
I respect that.
Which is
No,
fair.
but Dad, you said being drafted and actually playing on the summer league. Keith might have said it once, but now he cleared it up and he said that just playing now. You have said, which I have a problem with, being on a summer league trying to make a name for yourself. You've said that.
I stand by it. I'm not gonna back out of it.
Right.
You know,
All right.
we've had
I
discussions
respect-
where I
I
said,
No, you said earlier that like, oh, he doesn't deserve a chance to play. That was the only thing I disagreed with. But you cleared it up now.
Yeah.
No, you cleared it up now. You probably just were.
So I have a
you-
question.
in the moment.
Yeah, we're
I'm-
good. We're good.
I have a question.
This is a great episode.
Who here thinks Bronny should not have been drafted?
Should not. Is that what you said?
Well,
And Keith is telling
Well,
me this too.
I say everybody get a chance. I say everybody get a chance and see what they can make.
I-
what
if I think he has, or if I think he wouldn't have, because there's to me there's two different things. If like
Okay, well,
Look at
why
this.
yes, I understand what he's averaging and compared to other players, he should have had the opportunity. But I just think that he got drafted because of
His dad.
his dad, JJ Redick,
but
that connection.
You
That's the
can't-
only reason why I think he was drafted. But would he have been drafted? Is from what it was going, I don't think he would have been.
Right.
And that's fair, but then I still think he would have been picked up by the Lakers regardless.
Right.
So
That's just-
I'm not even hating that they drafted him 3 picks before players are undrafted at that.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
you could have possibly picked somebody that may
But
have been
you-
better.
point. Yeah, but it's
But
3
you
picks.
wasted it because
No. But it's 3 picks after, so you can just sign that player that you want at that point.
And
It's
then
3
what you're
picks.
gonna-
He wasn't
what
a
you're gonna
first
battle-
round. He wasn't a first
you're-
round or early second rounder.
What you're gonna battle in when he's an undrafted free agent is money, and someone will just toss him mad money and he'll go to it.
Who?
Just
Well,
because it's Bronny.
he was
We'll never know.
already
We'll
if that was the
complaining
case,
that
he would have been drafted before the 55th pick.
Whether he was drafted or not, he was gonna go to the Lakers and play for them in
Yeah.
the summer league, regardless. So like to just hate on him
So-
being picked three players before, like it makes no difference. It makes no difference.
Listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
Regardless whether he's drafted or not, he
That's
was
not
going
because
to
of Bronny.
sign with the Lakers. So he
Yeah.
was drafted by the Lakers because of his dad.
That's not.
It
no,
doesn't.
see,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
matter because
Doesn't
let me
matter.
explain it. No, before you get mad, let me explain it. It doesn't matter because there are other players in this draft with similar numbers. So he's gonna play in the summer league. I would put money on the Lakers, but he's gonna play in the summer league somewhere because other of his players around in the NBA have put up similar numbers and are on a summer league roster. So I'm saying whether he was drafted by the Lakers then or undrafted, he's playing in the summer league because players have put up similar stats and were drafted. One was drafted in the first round, and he's balling.
I get your argument. I totally understand your
Yeah,
argument.
and you're being ignorant.
I'm very annoyed about this whole thing
ignorant
about he
if I
only got
disagree. I'm
drafted
not
because
ignorant if I
LeBron.
disagree.
Because you're not factoring it. You're just being your own opinion. You're not actually factoring the bigger picture and how NBA GMs look at it. That it's more than just statistics. You're not factoring that in. You're just factoring in your own opinion. So you're being ignorant of the whole picture. That's ignorance.
I'm not being ignorant, and here's why.
You are.
I'm gonna tell you
You
why.
are.
Let
me okay, go ahead. I'll let you.
No, hold on.
Hold on a
Hold
second.
Let him please.
You don't factor in. I know you won't, and many won't, but I will. You don't factor in, or people don't factor in the fact that what is it people say? First father and son in the NBA, possibly in the team and playing, which is a great thing. But when that does happen, you can honestly sit there and tell me that the thought of the Lakers drafting Bronny James did not include or had no involvement or didn't take into consideration who his father is? Is that what you're telling me?
This is how I know you're not listening, because I'll say it again on the podcast. If Bronny was drafted with these numbers and no other players were drafted with these numbers, and he got drafted because of his dad. I've said that multiple times, but I factor in. I'm not ignorant of factoring in other players putting up similar numbers and getting drafted and getting an opportunity on the summer league. I factor that in. I'm not ignorant of that. You are being ignorant of it and only keeping to your own opinion, which is fine. That's your own opinion. I'm just saying you're just being ignorant of the whole picture. That's it. If there's a player, and you said too, if I said a player got drafted at 2.9 points, so if a player averages 5. Is it fair to draft him? And you said yes. So with that is Bronny being. You did say that.
If it was fair for Bronny to get drafted, yes, I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the whole point I'm making. I'm just talking about earning a chance to play in the summer league, and based on all the second rounders, even the first rounder, that it's more than just stats. And Bronny showed that in the combine, even though you don't factor that in, but he showed that in the combine and earned a chance to be drafted in the second round. I do think that I factor in the Lakers taking him because of his dad, but I'm looking at the whole picture that it's not just 100% his dad. I do factor in these stats and other players around him.
I agree with that. I have a question now. So do you think what Zach has just said, do you think it was completely 100% his dad? That's why he got drafted?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Blinded.
Because
I would say
ignorant. It is.
How are teams passing up on players like KJ Jones II, who averaged 26.2 points per game and didn't even get drafted?
I agree.
Where did he play?
The Celtics, Tristan Enaruna, who averaged 19.6 points per game. How do these players get?
I'm 100% on your side, but guess what? These NBA GMs, they look at more than just stats. I'm on your side. I'm not drafting a player with 5 points, but these NBA GMs look at potential. I agree. If you're in college and you're averaging 19, 20 points, I'm taking you over somebody averaging 5. But these NBA GMs are looking more than just stats.
Yes,
they could be trouble kids. They could be
I factor that in.
You gotta factor everything in.
I'll say,
and my dad's not. My dad's not.
I will say this to your point. When the GMs or executives actually look and draft these kids, I forget who it was. Someone actually said nowadays that GMs and executives are drafting these 18, 19-year-olds, whatever the case may be, with the hope of 4 years from now when their rookie contract is up, that that's their
They're a
building
solid
block.
role player. They're a
That's-
solid role player.
That's their building block. It's if everybody's trying to shoot for, and if you end up being a role player, then so be it. But they're going after that one like a Jokic when they got drafted. It's rare, but that's what they were. That's nowadays. That's what they're drafting. They're drafting.
Second rounders, not really. Second rounders, they're looking for just a solid role player to contribute to the team. But if you get that Jokic, I mean, you are a hell of a GM at that point. But they're not looking to get a Jokic in the second round. Like
Danny
if I'm
Ainge
being
did.
real.
Yo, Zach,
Danny
just for the
Ainge did
fun of it,
twice.
Yeah, but just because you
Zach.
get it, that doesn't mean that that's like realistic.
Zach, for the
Yeah, what's
fun
wrong?
of it, can you look up DJ Burns and see where he's playing?
The Cavaliers.
Yeah,
I don't know if
what
he's
he's
getting
doing?
minutes. I don't know if he's getting minutes though.
Yeah, he went undrafted, but I don't know if he's actually gonna end up making the team. So
Like I know
Any-
Goki also. He's only played like a couple of minutes in one game for the.
Yeah, he
Thunder.
went 1 for 1.
Who did?
Yeah, he's going G League.
Goki, the Oakland shooter, the white kid.
okay, yeah,
That
He's
cooked
gonna go
Reed
G League.
Shepard and Rob Dillingham.
hitting 10
that guy.
threes.
Yeah, that
Yep.
guy.
Anybody else have anything to contribute?
You can join the official Sports Shed Discord. Links in the Facebook. Yeah, if you want to communicate with all of us
Thank
and
you, I appreciate
adding some topics and up for discussions and stuff like that, you can join that Discord. Yep.
So, without further ado, I just want to thank everybody for listening, coming on, and watching this episode today. Of course, if anybody have any comments, any suggestions for topics, we welcome them all. Once again, thank you for watching the episode. And until next Wednesday at 6, we will see you then.
Peace.
Cue the music.